Now pop up. And gonna be going with live in a second. Yeah. 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 It's so easy to go live, and we're gonna start right now. Do, 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 do. All right, folks. Oh, welcome back to the SF Comic Book Company. This is our weekly show, the SF Company Hour. I am Ray Doomzilla, your hostess with the leastest. Next to me up there is Rick Grayson, co-host extraordinaire, the Baba Booey of the whole operation.
No, but
He's better than that. You're like the Fred Norris, I would say. Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take Fred. Yeah, I'll take Fred.
Or Robin. All right. Well, yeah. Juan will be the Robin of the operation today. So just, there you go. Laugh at all my jokes and make it okay for me to make fun of minorities because you're in the room. So just like the real Howard Stern here.
Whoa.
Whoa, hello. All right, Wancho.
Can you
Mr.
see me?
Juan Medina, I can. No, we see a blank screen.
I don't know why that is. Hold on a second.
Okay, I thought we were going to have like the big unveiling.
Is this a protest? Is this what it is?
There he is.
There he is. There you go. So, there you go. So, how you doing, Juan?
Hello there.
Dude, I'm so happy. I feel like we're close to being free once again. I mean, I have no problem wearing a mask. I have no problem sheltering in place. But also that doesn't change the fact that I'm so excited to just go to a club and just dance, dude. Just listen to all the best music.
He sounds like the dude from Dazed and Confused. I just want to dance.
Well, you look like you're ready for a Jimmy Buffett concert, so that's good. You're ready, man. I'm ready too, man. I just want to go walk down to a bar and have a drink, sit down and have a drink. That's all. Like, I don't want to do anything fucking extravagant. Just sit down at a bar or go to a restaurant and sit down and have people bring me food and take the dishes away so I don't have to wash them. So that's seems to be happening more and more. So it's slowly but surely we're going kind of back to normal. I know society may have been set back this week, but some things are moving forward. So that's good. God damn it. He left already. Damn.
He got booted?
Yeah, he booted himself.
Whoa.
So,
man, what'd you say?
I think it was a Jimmy Buffett comment, man. He got.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Let's try this again.
It's like the brownies and shit in fucking Willow. Maybe it was something we said.
I'm sorry. I won't talk about Jimmy Buffett again. All right.
No Jimmy Buffett jokes, bro. We're sorry about that.
That was in his
writer.
pissed
me off, man. How dare you?
He doesn't. He doesn't want to talk about the '92 Olympics and Jimmy Buffett. All right. That's
how dare you besmirch Juancho?
Not dare you. So we haven't talked to you since we kind of talked to you when this was starting to go down. When we started, you were like one of the first Zoom guys, right? When we started doing the Zoom meetings.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
So how you been since then, man? How you been dealing with all this craziness?
I was just drinking every day.
Oh, paradise.
Yeah, I was doing that at one point, and I have it scheduled for like 3 days a week. Fucking my drinking. I'm trying to schedule it out.
Yeah, you have to, but I've been drinking. I don't black out. I don't brown out. I don't hit anyone. I don't yell.
Talk to your roommate about that.
I don't yell too much, but I mean, definitely drinking to the point where I don't heal as fast as I should.
This is getting old, man. This is fucking
You're not Wolverine, bro.
Well,
we'll talk about that later.
It working the right way.
Well, the alcohol has something to do with it too, though. And drinking enough where it's like, even if I wake up at 7 or 8, and I'm just like, God damn it, there's not enough coffee.
Yeah,
and then
not enough coffee in the world.
Dude, you were not from Colombia, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, just drinking and writing jokes and
that's good.
just making sure, checking you guys out, checking out your stuff on YouTube.
Show you what not to do. Yeah, the anti-comedy.
Has COVID like just unleashed a whole new batch of jokes that you were like, haha, I got a new fucking string of jokes here.
Oh, I'm sure that's gonna be rampant in the comedian community. There's gonna be a lot of I was at home fucking
the COVID joke. Yeah, the COVID vine is just gonna pluck your fruit.
Well, COVID is like it's more than just like it is 9/11 on another level. I mean, it's different than 9/11, of course.
Yeah. Right? Well, just like 9/11 was like world changing. This is world changing too.
It's similar but the same, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is something that we're gonna be talking about for the rest of our lives, and
for sure, man.
And we hope that there, I was talking to my friend about this. There's going to be another pandemic either next year or a couple of years from now. But this is the first one that we all experience together as a country, in modern times.
So I got my money on giraffe flu. Giraffe flu is next.
So this is going to be
some, well, at least we'll know, okay, this is our mask. We got to wear masks this season. We'll be like starting that shit right away instead of like wait until like everything gets infected, then start wearing all this shit. Now it's like, okay, let's wear masks. Let's fucking, be a little more casual. Basically, we're turning into Japan. We're just going to
100%.
Yeah, which is fine because Japan is clean as fuck. They clean everything constantly. They have people, and that's gonna create more jobs. Just people fucking cleaning fucking movie theaters, cleaning fucking seats, cleaning fucking all that, which should be done already. We're living
100%.
We live in a disgusting society, dude. Everything's
how much you want to bet? Everybody's gonna start taking off their shoes before they go in their houses. We used to make fun of Asian people. Oh, you take off your shoes?
Yeah.
Nah. We're going to take off our shoes. We're going to put them into these little cubbies that spray them with some kind of disinfectant.
Every home's going to have like a miniature fucking bowling fucking, like a bowling desk. Put your shoes right here. All right, here are your slippers. Enjoy.
Dude, our culture is going to change to the point where it's just like, if we're like hanging out with someone and then like, or someone's about to hang out with us and then we go, hey, dude, we just got an alert that you were in an area with infected people. You got to go home. And we're all going to bully. We're all going to bully that person and be like, yo, dude, you got to go home.
It also depends how hot she is, too. So you might have to risk
Get your booty ass out of here.
Your ugly friends, they'll do that, too. But some hot chick that wants to hang out, like, oh, you're hanging? That's fine. We'll fucking wear the bodysuit from Naked Gun.
It's like, you ready? Hey, it's all safe, bro. It's all safe.
Yeah, you haven't had sex until you had mass sex, I tell you. So those gimps are right, man. So so speaking of, how's the comedy? Like a lot of comedy people are on doing the Zoom thing, or like how you like getting your like comedy itch out there? How you like expressing yourself out there? Just like been writing, like how you been like?
Mostly been writing. Yeah, I doubled down. A lot of my friends were doing Zoom shows. I mean, I am gonna do. I've done a few, and I'm gonna do one more. But I've just been focusing on writing scripts. I did a couple sketch videos. Just like working on my own comic strip, which I'm gonna release soon. Hope release with you guys. You guys can we can premiere it with you. So I just
we're a comic book company technically.
I've just been going inwards, man. I've just been going like, yo, what do I want to do? And I don't know if you remember, but the last time we talked, I was supposed to be moving to LA, and obviously this slowed down. But I'm moving to LA.
That's why I released the virus to keep you here.
I'm moving to LA.
You're not going anywhere.
Next week, so
it's happening. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so you're taking off next week already?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah. It's,
and so that's what's up.
A good time to go too. You probably get some cheap rent and shit, right?
I think things are looking all right. But what about you guys? I mean, like, besides doing this show, I know that Ray, are you working? Or what are you doing?
No, I'm just fucking non-essential, fucking at home doing nothing. It's great.
You look great. You lost a lot of weight.
Well, I lost the weight beforehand. I'm not really losing any more because it's kind of like it's like a wash right now. Like I'm not really gaining, not really losing, so that's fine. So I'm just stuck at this one weight, which is fine because it's better than what I was. But it's kind of hard to like lose weight and be at home all the fucking time. But it's starting to open up a little more, going out some more walks and stuff, going outside. Feels like a little more safer to go outside now. And like But you still see people not wearing the goddamn mask. So I don't know, man. It's like fuck. It's like
we should make shirts.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing a shirt, if you're not wearing a mask, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And whatever your views are, like it helps people be comfortable, man. Like, why would you fucking like? Why would you try to fucking like do something different just to be an asshole? You know, like fuck. It's like, you know, people are like spitting in each other's faces and like fucking doing just assholes, man. This is the most like this world is so fucking divided right now. I know we try not to get political, but goddamn, man, this is like even the same sides are fighting right now. Like the same fucking people are arguing the same point, fighting each other to fucking tooth and nail, and just all these fucking Trump voters are laughing their ass off. They're just having a great time looking at us destroy each other. It's great. Fucking
what do you think Doom would do in a COVID-19 world? How would Doom maneuver?
Doom would find a cure and blame fucking Reed Richards for causing the whole thing at the same time.
Reed Richards would cure it.
Yeah, well, Reed Richards would kind of cure it, but would need Doom's help to fucking like actually finish it, and then Doom would fucking betray him in some way to take the credit. Hey, one thing about Latveria, they have good healthcare. They have good healthcare, good education. Their streets are clean. There's no fucking disease. There's no poverty. You know, he rules with an iron fist, but his trains run on time.
What about you? Dude, can I call you Rick Grayson since that's the name you got down there? Can I just call you Rick, or is that like a joke?
It's both.
Yeah.
He's Ray's son. Yes.
Yeah.
That's his secret identity.
I just don't, because I got Juancho up here because obviously my name's Juan Medina, but I like people to call me Juancho, and obviously Ray, but you got Ray Doom.
No, Grayson was just like a fucking thing because like I love like the whole Batman family thing, and of course, any nickname that has to do with a bird, Robin, Dick Grayson, like it just like started like it fell in line. And
the Crow, yeah.
The Crow. What is it? The spring soldier, the autumn soldier,
the summer soldier,
the summer soldier. I get that one too. Yeah. Lean.
Ricky Barnes.
Yeah, shit, dude. There's just too many. But it's just like, what? It's like fucking Grayson.
Fucky Barnes.
Fucking Rackman. No, it's just too many.
Ricky Rackman.
Ricky Rackman.
Am I correct? Are you Nicaragüense? Are you Nicoya?
Half
Nicoya, half what?
Half sexy.
That's dope. Nah, that's dope, dude. Dude, I love Nicaragua's where it's at, dude. Like, I'm surprised. Is there a Nicaraguan superhero? There should be.
Yeah, dude. Marvin Bernard.
No, as a matter of fact, there is, dude. I think it was when the new 52, was it with the new 52 launched? I'm not sure. Was it the Midnighter? Is that what they call him? No. He happened to be, I'm sorry. No. It was the old Stormwatch, the original run of Stormwatch, where they mentioned two characters that happened to be dead. One of them happened to be from Nicaragua. I think his name was Lancer.
So the one is dead from like 30 years.
He died. Yeah, he died. He was a part of the original Stormwatch team, but he died.
Panel.
Yeah.
To be clear, Stormwatch was Image, right?
Yeah, Stormwatch was Image.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, okay. Was Stormwatch the one where they were fighting against aliens?
Yeah, and they all got killed.
Stormwatch lost? They all died?
Yeah, a bunch of them died, and that's what that transitioned to the Authority comic book series, because all like the surviving members.
I didn't even get that far because
you never read that story? It's fucking brutal, dude. Like, yeah, the aliens fucking killed the fucking.
So I collected all the way to like book 40, and then all of a sudden at book 40, like there was like a whole revamping of the team.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's the team that died. But the team that I remember, like a couple of them are still alive. Like Backlash is still alive.
Yeah, and this happens after that, I think.
Okay. I need to figure out who's alive still.
It was called like when it was one of those first times where like a crossover like actually had ramifications for the actual storyline. Like, yeah, they crossed over to aliens, and a bunch of aliens killed the team.
I forget what the name of those aliens were, but they were incredible. They were like scary.
Was it the Damonites?
No, it was it was the Xenomorphs from Aliens.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was a crossover with Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, okay. And they fucking made that shit canon?
Yeah, they killed the fucking Stormwatch, and that's what created the Authority.
That's fucked up, bro. That was like, that's one of my fucking favorite fucking, not cool.
Well, I remember when, like, the Xenomorphs crossed over with, what was the one, the Witchblade, and what's the other one, the male version?
Oh, Darkness.
Darkness.
Oh, my God, dude. The Xenomorphs in the Darkness, blew my mind.
Because their suits, like Darkness and Witchblade, had those like H.R. Geiger kind of like,
yeah, it's inspired.
Anyways, so it definitely fit for sure.
The biomechanical.
They had some good crossovers. Like they had the Batman versus Predator one was fucking awesome. Like Batman put on like the badass suit of armor and beat the shit out of him.
They had like a Terminator versus Batman, didn't they?
They had pretty much everything. They had aliens, Superman versus aliens.
No, I don't think I remember that one.
I have that one. That one's pretty good. Yeah, they had a bunch of them, man. Like they had a bunch of crossovers. 90s were big on crossovers. Like Marvel and DC were crossing over. Like Dark Horse and Image and like everybody was no one gave a fuck in the 90s. They were just trying to make money and keep afloat. So no one, like, there was no like fucking animosity. Like, oh, I can't work with this company because this. Yeah, now they're a little bit more hesitant to have crossovers with certain companies, but yeah, back in the 90s, they were crossing over. Fucking Archie crossed over with fucking Punisher, man. Like, fuck, what the hell?
This is true. And the Predator. Archie and the Predator.
Yeah.
It's insane. That is insane. I can't believe, like, dude, like Predator, my favorite sci-fi alien villain. I can't even call him a villain. I just like him.
He's a hunter. He's like, it's just what every rich white guy goes to Africa and hunts a fucking elephant. It's the same shit.
He's a Rasta hunter. You know what I mean? He's just chilling. But his design, dude, the design
badass
of the Predator is incredible. And like, I'm into Predator, so like looking at the original design and how the design came up. You heard the story, right? Where I think it was James Cameron was on a plane with the creature designer, and James Cameron is like, it'd be really cool, an alien that looked like a dog. And so I never thought about it, but Predator does have like those beady, like pit bull eyes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Did you ever see the original design for it? The character?
Yes.
Yeah, it was
very
like
dog-like.
It was like, it was kind of more alien-like, but it had more like, it was like slouched over, and it was fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme in the suit.
Yeah, it was a little bit more insect-like, but it was weird looking as shit.
Well, you know who it looks like, and I don't remember his name, but it's like Beta Bill. It looked like Beta Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
It kind of did.
Beta Ray Bill.
You kind of see a little bit, right?
It looked like Beta Ray. It looked like Beta Ray Bill like screwed those things from like The Village, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that's what you got. That's what they fucking presented.
That's a fucking OnlyFans kind of porn right there, man.
Look, I know we got an agenda, Ray, and I know you guys have a tight show, but can we just talk about one more subject that I've always wanted to explore?
This is a shoot the shit fucking portion of the show, man. We're just fucking like,
whatever you want, bro.
Yeah, this is like whatever. Yeah, we're gonna run through some news and like talk about whatever random shit we can talk about. This is if you want to talk about random shit, this is the time to do it, my friend.
So I'm really impressed, and I always like, we're talking about the Damonites, right? The Damonites. Image had some of the most frightening. Whose cat is that?
It's Fieldy, dude. I mean, he just doesn't. Eventually, he's gonna start yelling and being like a fucking loud.
I love this cat.
He's the mascot of the show, really.
He's a loud.
His timing's better than most of the guests, really.
Can we see his face? Can we see his face, please? Put him back on the screen. We gotta see this guy. Look at this. Oh my God!
It's a fucking grumpy old man right there.
What's up, baby?
He's a grumpy old man.
He is like.
He's going through his Walter Matthau phase right now.
He is, dude. The only reason he gets away with so much shit is because he has like the cutest face. He just looks at me and I'm like, wow.
That's how I get away with shit. Yeah, I'm the same way. If I didn't have this charming smile, I would be fucking arrested a long time ago.
Yeah, dude. Like, this son of a bitch, he just fucking, like, he has this new meow that he does, which is like, it's just killing me every time.
He's got
a
new meow.
He's got, you're gonna hear me this time, good? Yeah, he's like, I was like, no, relax, bro. He's
going through his Axl Rose phase.
He's like,
how old is he?
dude, he's like 14.
No way.
Yeah,
he's got a baby face.
Yeah. No, he.
You talking about Rick or the cat?
No,
The cat.
no, he's like fucking. He's amazing, bro.
So
like,
what I wanted to.
All right, so
look at him.
Look at that little dude. What's up, Baba? What's up, baby?
Look at him. He's like, now he's like, I don't want. I'm on the internet. Nope, that's enough. No, where are you going?
No. He had just 2 seconds. Now he's done.
He's gonna
be. So you're saying one?
I want to talk about because Image had incredible villains, right? Like they're coming out of Marvel, right? A lot of the creatives that founded Image were coming out of Marvel, and I think they felt stifled. They felt like, yo, dude, you're just giving us. You want us to be too clean, but we got all these fucking dope ass ideas that are dark, and so the villains were these like. They were like viral, alien, insectoid, like almost like even like the Daemonites. I believe that they could possess humans, right?
Yeah,
like, it was like right. But like and then even like some of the heroes that they created. I mean, obviously, Image was all about the anti-hero. But one of my
like a lot of these guys, these are all shit they created when they were kids. Like they were like a lot of these like drawings and like characters they created were all like shit they did when they were kids. So these are like, shit they've been, having since they were like 13 years old, or like they were reading comics themselves. So they were fuck that. I'm not giving them to Marvel. I'm going to save this for my own shit.
And the plus about that is at the time when I think they wanted to fucking branch out and they wanted to come out with probably some, more creative input, maybe even to possibly bring out these characters. Marvel was just like, no, this is what you're doing. It pretty much like, it felt like Marvel was like the WWE's now, and like Image was like AEW, something new, something brand new. Like just we're gonna do it our way. Yeah. Not all of it worked, but yeah.
But so in my mind, whether it worked or not, it was iconic. Like that's what I want to talk about. And
dude, who were the creators who left and did that? It was Lee, LaFeld, McFarlane, Keown.
Keown left later, but
Liefeld.
Liefeld,
Portacio. You said Portacio, right?
Portacio,
McFarlane, Eric Larson,
Silvestri,
Carullo.
Silvestri.
Greg Capullo was kind of in-house. He was kind of in-house with McFarlane. He was like McFarlane's protege.
McFarlane, yeah.
Yeah, Capullo didn't really do too much outside of Image before. He did a little bit, but not like a bunch. But yeah,
he didn't do anything really before Image. Like this was like. Image was like his.
Yeah, he did like a little bit, but yeah, Image was like where he like got his.
Made his bone.
And a lot of these guys, they're not the best writers. They're great artists. That's why they're artists. And some of these guys are not the best writers.
Not all the books hit, man. There were some shitty ass books to start off.
There were
Blood Wolf and shit.
But there's one I want to talk
Brigade.
about. Brigade. And that one I want to talk about is Pitt.
Okay, I love Pitt.
Del
Keown, man. Do you like Pitt?
I loved it, Pitt.
Well, I love Dale Keown art is amazing. And the best thing about Pitt, he like crossed over with every fucking single character in that universe. Pitt had an issue where he crossed over at some point, like with Gen 13.
He was a popular character, but the thing is, Keown could not fucking like publish a fucking book. Like, I don't know about you guys. I used to fucking go to the store just to get fucking Pitt. And I think when I started catching on, I think I was up to Pitt 3. I waited like fucking 6 weeks for fucking Pitt number 4 to come out. And then for Pitt 5 to come out, I had to wait another 2 months.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem with Image in the beginning.
Their book, there was
only like maybe a few guys like Larson would have his shit on time. McFarlane was pretty good at having shit come out on time. But
I think it was only Larson and McFarlane that were like, this is my book and it's coming out periodically.
Yeah, and all the other guys there was so much space in, but they would like promote books that would like Wetworks. I think took like 2 years to come out.
Oh my god, right? Fucking Portacio. Oh, dude, it was a beautiful idea, but 2 years for fucking Wetworks. Oh my.
Yeah, that's what killed a lot of momentum for a lot of those books. And some of them are cool. The art was always amazing. The art, and they were like one of the first guys to do like digital color and shit too. So they were like the books always looked amazing. Like no matter what
covers.
The covers were always fucking
dude.
on point.
The stunning covers.
Yeah, and they would always stand
the,
out. You see, like
the colors. I think the color art that they used on those books was fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was all like the first ones to use digital color. So
yeah. Oh, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pitt was basically if you took the Hulk and Lobo and you mixed them together,
a little bit of Venom in there too.
A little bit of Venom.
He was that dude. It was just like the bad boy, but like kind of quiet, but also just like, they gave him that little blonde-headed boy to be like, to kind of like speak for him.
Yeah, like his conduit, like his because wasn't it like it was like the little boy was
his brother.
It was like linked to him like a soul, right?
It was an alien, right? And then the boy like had.
Yeah. But the boy had alien powers too. Like
they were both hybrids, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I love hybrids.
But Pitt looked like one way, and the kid looked like the other. But the kid had sick ass powers too, though, man.
Now I never got to catch those sick ass powers, but the reason I wanted to talk about him was because he was this incredible, unstoppable hero, right? He was just like, and by the way, it was extremely bloody. It wasn't gory, but it was bloody.
Yeah.
It was bloody.
but he would always win, like the Hulk, right? But the thing about it was his opposition, the aliens that he was a hybrid of.
Oh, what were they called?
They were tremendous. They gave me nightmares.
Yeah, the alien creatures. They kind of look like almost like a Geiger-esque kind of like a skeleton, kind of a thing, right?
Let's look. Let me see the Pit. I'm looking up a Pit.
Juan, have you read Savage Dragon at all?
Oh, dude, I'm so good. Of course, I love fucking Savage Dragon.
It's probably my favorite out of all the Image books because I've read.
It's still ongoing, right?
Yeah, he's still going, man. He's like in. He just did book 50, I think, or 250, I think.
Oh, he died a couple of times, right?
Pitt, well, his son is. It's right now. It's aging in real time. So his son is the new Savage Dragon. His son. I forgot his name. The son's name. But yeah, his son's a new Savage. I haven't got up to that point. I probably read the first 40 or so issues. I have a bunch of trades I have to get to and keep going. But it's amazing stuff. Like especially like the first like 20 issues is amazing, dude. Like he takes so many shots at people. Like he takes shots at John Byrne. He takes shots at the guys. His fucking shit's fucking hilarious. The art is fucking really consistent. It's amazing work. He's great. I loved him on Spider-Man. Like he had the hard task of taking over for McFarlane for Spider-Man, which is like anybody that's going to come in after that, it's hard. But I love Eric Larson's stuff, man. He did a custom drawing for me a couple years ago. He did this here. I can grab this right now.
Is that the Savage Dragon one?
He did a free drawing for me. This is like back at a WonderCon
that's awesome.
Back in the day. But he did
this for free.
He did this one for free. Yeah. He did that. Yeah, it's a Doc Ock fucking in his nice suit and tie. Yeah, it was a free sketch. I bought one a couple years ago, the Captain Universe Spider-Man, but yeah, I got that one like I think probably like in the 90s, man, for like free. Like that's before I even knew like to get sketches and shit. But yeah, he did that in a trade paperback for me for free. Awesome guy, dude.
One of the things I love about the Savage Dragon books is like the colors were always on point. I mean, vivid, just like super bright.
Yeah.
And then even like the details on the actual illustration, like forearms always had hair on them. You know what I mean? Always just beautiful
afternoon shadow on their fucking forearms. Yeah.
and it sounds goofy, but you notice those kind of details, like in terms of artistry. Yeah, I mean, like Savage Dragon is like one of those dudes. Like, but by the way, did they ever reveal what his mystery is? Like, is he a dragon? Like, what the fuck is his deal?
I haven't got to that point, but I think they reveal some of his origin, like some of what's revealed about him. But yeah, I think he might be an alien or some shit, or like I think they have explained a little bit, but I haven't got to that point yet. I have a long way to go, but
he's not a cop anymore, is he? Please.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if he's alive in the books anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah. No cop.
There's a great scene. There's a great scene. I think somebody posted about him talking about like police brutality and shit, and like some officer. I think I remember the issue too, where these officers will get a little heavy-handed with some folks, and he kind of fucking put them in their place, like how to act. So it's Yeah, Eric Larson's on the. He knows his shit, man. He knows his shit. He's very political, and he's
got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Speaking of finger on the pulse, let's some chats here. Alex, hey, hell yeah, Juan, I'm feeling that. I guess he's feeling your Jimmy Buffett shirt. He said, my man is looking like Matt Hardy. Let's see. Emily, wow, that cat's face. Hi, everyone. Hi, Emily. Let's see. Lori, love both, and Ray and Rick own cats. Yes, we are cat people. I love all animals, except for pigeons and seagulls.
No, I know the seagulls one and the pigeons.
Fuck pigeons and seagulls. They can fucking die. I don't care. Like all of the animals are fine.
I'm an animal person too, man.
Rat, mice, fine. But yeah, seagulls and fucking pigeons can fuck off. Let's see. Krista, hi Krista. Cats fieldy rules. Yes, he does. Alex again, all about Jim Valentino. Opened the door for Walking Dead saga. Yeah, Jim Valentino took over as editor-in-chief, man. That's when Image kind of like had their second life and actually like did some quality shit after.
He was a Shadowhawk guy, right?
Yeah. Valentino, Michelle Valentino, people forget him. Yeah, Shadowhawk, the first well, it wasn't the first character with AIDS, but he was definitely
yeah, it was like a big thing. I remember with the #1, everybody wanted to have that fucking cover and shit because there was like a variant all black to the silver.
I'm glad the comic book industry learned their lesson.
Shadowhawk had
right?
AIDS?
Too many fucking variants.
That was like the big like twist. Like I think that was in the first issue. Like he has AIDS and shit. So that was kind of like the plot point too. Yeah, like there would be villains that like have the cure and they would try to like fucking find the cure and shit. It was fucking bad. And he had like he would just break criminals' spines too. He would just fucking
He was, dude, hey, hold on, let's talk about this real quick. Azazel, when Batman got replaced by Azazel, wasn't he basically biting off a Shadowhawk? Israel. Wasn't he basically Azrael? Wasn't he basically biting off of like Shadowhawk? Like,
well, the look for sure. Like he would definitely.
But wasn't Azrael also breaking people's spines or no? He wasn't.
Well, that Bane is the one that broke Batman's spine.
I know that.
He was just. I think the whole thing with Azrael, he was just a little bit more violent than fucking everybody.
Well, he was the embodiment of the '90s comic book. That was definitely like it was kind of an amalgam of all like the '90s, like hyper.
Is that what they were trying to do? They were trying to make a statement.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's what they were saying. Like that was what they're kind of saying with that. You know, oh, you want Batman to like be, and Batman's already a dark character, but like, oh, you want to make him 90s? So yeah, we're gonna break his back and bring this kid in who's gonna have like this high tech armor and like ridiculous fucking armor, which I thought looked cool. And
it did look cool, man.
And just kill the shit out of fucking criminals, man. Yeah.
Who was the first person that he was like fucking up with? He was like kicking the shit out of him that he went too far.
Shit, I don't know. It was a couple, man. I gotta read Nightfall again.
Yeah, because there was like I remember there was one scene where he was like I think it was a criminal. It was just like, you're not supposed to do this, and he goes, I'm not him, and he just like kept on going, like just like beating the shit out of the criminal. Like there was like no mercy.
No mercy.
Okay.
It was Johnny Lawrence.
So let's see what else. It was good Image talk. I always like talking Image, man.
I love Image, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some news, Rick. Do you want to go through some news real quick? Talk about some stuff.
Yeah. You know what? This one actually caught my eye. The Black Cauldron. I don't know if you guys are a big fan of fucking Black Cauldron. And they're talking live action remake to that. That actually could be like
talking about the Black Cauldron right there.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, that could be like Disney's version. Disney's version of fucking like their kind of Lord of the Rings if they're smart about it.
But it's kind of an underrated Disney movie, man.
It's great. I love that movie.
Too many people talk about it, so.
Have
you seen the Black Cauldron one?
I have not, man, but I'm going to. I got Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it's on there. Yeah.
The best thing about the Black Cauldron, it comes in a time where they were like transitioning from like the classic.
Don Bluth.
It was Don Bluth. Yeah, man, Don Bluth.
Before he left. Before he left Disney.
Yeah, I think it was his last thing that he did right before he left Disney.
Yeah, it might have been
because it didn't do well. It was more adult. It was like for. It wasn't for
dark.
kids.
It was like dark, like kind of like.
It was for like it was like for like 12, 13, 14-year-olds. But yeah, I don't think Disney was going for that. And they were going from Bambi to the Black Cauldron. Yeah, that wasn't cool. it was a bit like a bit too.
Yeah,
too much of a culture
is
shock.
that going to be for Disney Plus or is that going to the?
I think it's going to be Disney Plus from what I was reading. Let me.
All right, yeah.
Let me double check.
I'm okay with that. I'm down with that.
Yeah, for Disney live action remake. No, it looks like it's going to probably go straight to theater, man. Well, if and when theaters are around. You know what? It's hard to say when it comes to all this shit, especially Disney, because Disney has no problem with putting money behind things and then putting it onto streaming. Like
yes.
That's one thing I can be happy with Disney, that they threw on Onward no problem to their streaming service. I'm not sure how much new stuff they got coming out. I think
the smaller stuff is gonna definitely be thrown there, but they're gonna want to put those big Marvel movies in the theaters, man. They make
the Marvel movies. They need to be in the theater.
That's $1 billion sitting right there that they're gonna lose if they fucking not release that in the fucking thing.
What are the next Marvel movies anyway this year?
Black Widow, and then Eternals after that. Those are
so Black Widow was already supposed to be out.
I was supposed to come out the last week of April, first week of May, some shit.
Okay.
Is the Eternals going to be a film or is it going to be a series on Netflix?
No,
it's a film.
It's a film. Yeah, I think November, December.
It was supposed to be November, but I think everything's being pushed back, so that'll probably be.
Well,
I bet you Black Widow comes out in November, then everything's gonna get pushed back. So Eternal will probably either come out May or like that later that summer. I can see them just pushing everything back.
Well, isn't there supposed to be like a Netflix series with not the Eternals, but like the Inhumans?
No, that was a failed TV show on ABC.
Yeah,
that ain't shit because the Inhumans suck as characters. They're horrible fucking characters, man. So I'm glad that shit died, because that was the era where Marvel was trying to push the Inhumans as like the next X-Men. They were like trying to, because they didn't have the rights.
They didn't have the right for X-Men. They wanted. So they were like
trying to push up the Inhumans as this like new thing, and like there was a big storyline in the comic where the mutants were dying out, and there was more Inhumans popping up. So because Marvel owns the Inhumans, so the Inhumans have never been as cool as the X-Men, and they fucking never will be. They're fucking lame. When you're fucking cool, the coolest fucking character is a fucking teleporting dog. You have problems, okay? Lockjaw is the only cool fucking character of that fucking team, man. That fucking Inhumans suck. All right,
they're busted down X-Men, dude.
They're just like bootleg X-Men. They've always been lame characters, dude. Like they're trying to push them as the X-Men.
Second Raiders.
Fuck you, man. Yeah, fuck Marvel.
Damn, fuck you.
Inhumans suck, dude. They're just fucking horrible characters.
They do. They're fucking horrible.
They're boring fucking characters. They look lame. Lockjaw's the only fucking hype one out of the whole fucking Inhumans crew, man. God. Man, I'm already angry, man. Wait till I get to the X-Men, man. Oh my god, man. I'm already heated already.
The fact that I had to watch this movie again to refresh myself.
Oh my god. All right, we'll get to it. All right, so let's see. Let's more news. So big news in comics. DC is cutting ties with Diamond Distributors, which kind of pissed off a lot of retailers, because they're like trying to get back into the fold and trying to get like business going again. So now they have to order through like second and third parties to get their DC books. And DC's doing a thing where they're releasing their books on Tuesdays, which is fucking kind of confusing, kind of stupid. So I think like people are pissed off. A lot of retailers are mad about this because it's kind of making shit harder for them. Definitely like during this time when everybody's like trying to stay on their feet. So kind of a shitty move by DC. I've read some of his stuff, and it's
who made the call on this one? Was it like
DC.
Was it the Suits or?
Well, I'm sure it was
not editor-in-chief, right?
I'm sure it saves them money. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, editors-in-chiefs had no call. This is all business decisions, man.
Suits, all right.
Yeah, so I don't know. DC hasn't been really doing a lot of things right lately, so I don't know, man. Like it goes back and forth. Like sometimes Marvel is in the shitter and DC's doing all the right things, and right now Marvel's doing all the right things and DC's in the
DC
shitter
sucks
right
ass.
Yeah, especially on their comic side, man. It's kind of fucked up, man, to make retailers have to go through another fucking distributor, and just I don't know. I think it's kind of shitty by DC, and a lot of retailers are not feeling this. So I side with the retailers always, man. So what do you guys think about this news?
It's just more fucking hoops for mom and pops to fucking jump through, and that's not fucking cool, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like,
it's a shipping cost too. They got to pay a double shipping cost, right?
Well, DC's like doing like they're thinking of it as a business. Like they're making more money selling these books through bookstores and selling these books through Like they're releasing comics through Walmart, these 80-page giants, and they're making money through that. Like fucking comic book shops are like in last place right now of their like value to DC. So I think it's just one of those things. Like I'm sure they sell so many through Amazon and shit and like shit like that. So they're thinking like, fuck, we don't need really focus on direct market shit for go through the comic book shops, which sucks because I love going to comic book shops. And that's, if you kill comic book shops, man, it's comic books won't be far behind, man. You think like you could sell them through Walmart, but I don't know if it's gonna have the longevity.
No, you're right. You're right, because the comic book shop is where the real passion is, dude. It's where you go to speak with the knowledgeable people, and so if they don't recognize that, then they're just setting themselves up for failure. I mean, there is nowhere that I don't get excited about comic books if I'm not in a comic book shop, dude. It's like, but when I'm in a comic book shop, I know that I might be embarrassed at first to ask the guy who's working there.
So do you know Archie?
Well, so I know that at first the comic book guy is gonna look at me like I'm an idiot, and then he's gonna be like, talk to me for like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, there's different spectrums of comic book guys, man. Some comic book guy like look snarky, all snarky ass, the Simpsons comic book guy.
The and there's like
fucker. Yeah, like, you like that. Well, fuck it. Well,
you read Green Lantern.
You need to read Watchmen. You can't read a Batman comic book. But there's a lot of these comic book guys are fucking, they're nerds like us, man. So they got into the business to, and you want to like, basically you ask the question, what do you like? And you find some shit that's related to it, man. I worked at a comic book shop for a time. So, it's you gotta know your shit. And, it's like there's no really stupid questions when you're coming in, man. Cause people don't know, man. You're going into a foreign territory, especially if it's like a first time going to a comic shop, man. I'm sure it's gonna be like intimidating. Really.
But the comic book shop is this unique space where it's like, there's these people who they're experts, they're expert readers.
Well, they think they are.
Well, but they are though. But they are, and I think I used to feel like they weren't, but they are though, because they are so passionate about whatever their perspective is, whether they, agree with you or not. The fact is, you're gonna get someone that loves it. You go to Walmart, you ask someone like, so is this a good time to jump into this series? And I don't fucking know. Do you want to buy fucking
standard Walmart fucking answer?
It's pretty much, he's right though. It's just like how everything fucking like is going to the big stores like Walmart and like the Costco's. Like, dude, for real, is DC making large books and just putting them at Walmart?
No, they're making these 80-page giants. So like, there's like original stories and like some reprints of some stories, and apparently they're making a lot of money off of that. So.
Yeah, because the whole thing about that is you can't ask, like you said, you can't ask the guy at fucking Walmart and shit like that. It's like, it's almost how fucking, like, for me, like Suncoast fucking just dried up out of nowhere.
Suncoast was amazing, but all their shit was
love Suncoast.
Triple the price of anywhere else. That's what killed them. Like,
yeah, but you know what the whole thing is? It's just like they had shit that nobody else had.
Yeah, they had like anime, cutty ass anime. They
Dude,
had ass horror movies. Yeah, I love Suncoast, man.
I used to love Suncoast, and I used to just like.
I think I applied at Suncoast at one point, man. Like
I applied at Suncoast. You know what it is? They don't want people who know about shit like that to fucking work.
We knew too much.
We knew too much. We know too much. But yeah, I mean, I would get into conversations about like, oh yeah, you like that movie? Oh, you should try this movie. And I was like, all right. Sometimes I fucking like would go to, my eyes would be open to a new kind of movie. And at comic shops, it'd be the same thing. Like, have you tried to read this book? You should check it out, man. Same writer. Like, oh, okay. Hold up. I'll be right back. You go get that book right all of a sudden.
Yeah. The shop I worked at, Al's Comics, on used to be on Grill, then was at the Market for the last before it closed down.
Yeah.
He Al hooked me up with like a bunch of books from shit I probably would never fucking read. Was it Watchmen? He gave me Watchmen I read that because he gave me the book. So, I would never fucking probably pick that up, because there was a time where I was just reading, Marvel and DC, it was a while before I started reading like indie books. I think Clerks was like one of the first like indie books I like picked up on purpose. So, it's like, it kind of opened the door, like, oh, there's a whole different genre. Like, and then plus I'm getting older and I want to read more adult shit anyways. I want to see, nudity and F-bombs too. So it's like, fuck yeah. So, transition to like reading some like indie titles and shit. So it's definitely, and I wouldn't have that experience if I didn't go to a comic shop. So it comes down to that, man. Yeah, keep these comic shops alive, and that's why I encourage people, man, go buy a comic, man, or go buy a gift certificate. You have a comic book fan in your family, whatever. Yeah, go to like Amazing Fantasy, go to Cards and Comic Central and Mission Comics, and buy a gift certificate, man. Keep these guys in business.
Ray, what do you think about organizing an event where like we invite viewers, your viewers, and I invite my friends too? Like, yo, let's go, let's take SF Comic Book Shop to a different comic book store. You know what I mean? Every week, dude. Like, let's go down there. Let's like, you know what I mean? And like, let's go hang out there. People can hang out with you, with Ray.
Yeah. Well, I've actually talked about doing that with a couple of the comic shops. Yeah, doing like maybe like a live episode or doing like a doing a shoot at a comic shop and stuff. So yeah, we can, we definitely could do some, at some point I want to do like a comic book comedy fucking show at one of these fucking spots, man. It'd be awesome. SF Comic Book comedy, man. You'd definitely be fucking headlining one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick can open for you.
It'd be crickets, bro.
No.
Rickets.
It'd be rickets.
As long as you bring your cat.
Yeah.
I don't need to show up. I can fucking put the cat in.
Yeah, Filthy could do it tight 5 minutes, man, for sure.
Filthy, where are you, little
dude? If you bring your cat, they'll go crazy. But I mean, let's talk about this more, man. It's just like, it is sad that like DC is just focusing more on the Walmart scene and not the individual comic book shops.
Because it's like a trickle effect too. It's like and it's a different trickle effect. Because now a fan's not informed as he would be going to Walmart, as he would be going just like to any comic book shop that's nearby him. It's like, dude, what book should I be reading right now? Well, this is what you should be reading. The fucking dude at fucking Walmart. I don't fucking know, right? Like, don't ask me this shit.
I know where the fucking dirt is. I don't know where the fucking who's fucking Gary Allen.
Well, one of the issues is that it's just like, dude, like people don't respect. Not by people. I mean, I feel like society overall, like they don't respect the comic book writer.
No, they don't.
Well, definitely more than they definitely respect it more because it's more mainstream than it was. Because it was a dirty little secret back when we were like in teenagers and stuff, man. Like in early '90s and like '80s and stuff. Like being a comic nerd had a certain like stigma about it. Like, oh, nerd. Yeah. Then you find out like half the motherfuckers are reading comic books, but no one will talk about it because they're ashamed. Like, I've always been upfront. Like I'm a fucking nerd. I love comic books. I fucking day one. I had a stack of comic book in my elementary school desk. I had a stack of comic books in there, like because I couldn't fucking bring them home because my mom sucked. So I kept them at school. Like,
dude, there's such a stigma about being a comic book fan, dude. I mean, it's just like that scene. Like I find out other people are comic fans. I'm like, what books do you read? That's like the first question. It's like now it's like you want to just like protest it to the at the top of your lungs, like I love this shit. Like it's no problem. It's like Lemmy and Airheads.
Well,
I was the editor of the school magazine.
Well, for me, I feel like I mean, I'm not trying to like brag, but the next level is manga. You know what I mean? Because a lot of you guys love American comic books, but you guys aren't fucking necessarily reading manga. And you guys,
I've read a couple. I used to read the guide.
Not enough for sure.
Look. My point is like, if you love American comic books, you have to love manga, dude. You got to know about.
Dude, it's hella violent, which I love, dude. I love.
I just love the tentacle porn, man. That's it, man.
That's nothing wrong with that. You gotta love Berserk. You know what I mean?
Hentai.
You gotta love. Guyver, of course, is incredible. There's
the original fucking Akira is fucking amazing. Like fucking
Akira is like, dude, Ninja Scroll, the Wings of Hanayami's fucking dude.
The original books of those are great. What's the guy who did Akira? He had his mother books too that were fucking pretty amazing. I've seen videos on.
They haven't got made into fucking animes.
Sometimes a lot of this cool shit is not fucking it's not easy to get too, man. Like fucking it's some of this shit's fucking hard to get.
I need to.
But that's my point.
Which one? All right. So one. Which ones do you recommend? Like us. Like
you were talking about
us Gaijin over here. What do you recommend?
Gaijin. The Gaijin pigs. I would definitely recommend Berserk. You gotta read Berserk. It's just it's like the length, the breadth, the complexity. The artwork is staggering. Because you know the thing about like American comic books is as beautiful as they are, as well written as they are, and what's really great about them is that they take different writers and different artists to interpret it. But with fucking manga, it's one guy, and he's just like, yo, I'm gonna do the whole fucking thing pretty much on my own. Eventually, when I get so old that my hand shakes, I'll like get some young dude that's been doing like fan versions of my shit because he like has mastered my style, and then I'll let him draw, and literally I will whip him. I'll stand over him with a whip, and I'll be like, draw this, you fucking piece of shit. And that's what happened. So obviously Berserk is one of them. The other one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's the one you were telling me about last time.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Oh yeah,
I played the game. That's about it.
The fighting game. Which one?
The first one for the PlayStation, I think.
I
don't know what the fuck was going on, but the animation style looked cool.
I mean, is it the one by Capcom? It's a fighting game by Capcom?
Yes, it's the one by Capcom.
Dude, that one is so fucking good. So, you know, I mean, look, man, I don't want to go into the stories too much, but my point is that it's just like, it's such a unique experience because it is only one author who also does the illustration. Generally speaking, there's some exceptions.
I think that's some of the best. When it's a writer artist and they're really good, I think it's amazing. I think because you're not going through somebody, you're interpreting their shit well. A lot of artists they can't write word for them. They're just great artists, but like guys like John Byrne, I think are great writers and artists, man. Like Frank Miller to an extent, he's a great writer artist. But you know, there's certain guys that are really good, man.
But even you take Akira Toriyama, dude. Fucking Dragon Ball Z started in the early 80s. It's still Dragon Ball. Then it went to Dragon Ball Z. Now Dragon Ball Super. Look, I'm not crazy about Dragon Ball Super, but you gotta give this guy his fucking props. This motherfucker's been drawing for like over 30 years. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. Maybe 30 years. But you get what I'm saying. It's just like, it's incredible. It's like if I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. What's the name of the guy? He did Silver Surfer in his heyday. He created Silver Surfer.
Jack Kirby?
No, I was gonna say not Mobius. That's Jack
Kirby. No, imagine if Jack Kirby was he had just only was doing Silver Surfer for 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the character development, the universe development, and it developed without him? But can you imagine if it was only him?
Well, Kirby wasn't the best writer, so that's why he needed Stan Lee. Some of his like solo stuff is not.
But listen, but he would have got better, and that's what happens with a lot of these mangaka. Yeah. It's like, dude, you step into a manga, and honestly, in the beginning, it's kind of cliche. You know, it's following the same thing, but then you see them get creative. You see them get competitive in a healthy way, and what I mean by competitive in a healthy way is they're like, I don't want to do the tropes. I want to freak people out. I want to surprise people. And the way what they pull out of their ass is incredible. And so, you know, it gets to the point where, you know, these mangakas, like, dude, they don't take a day off, dog. They've been working nonstop for like 10, 15 years. And it shows in their work, dude. You see the evolution of their artwork. It goes from these like simple kind of like, you can tell it was Walt Disney. You know, like most anime and manga is inspired by Walt Disney, the big eyes. Yeah. But then you see it become something else. It becomes like anatomically correct. You see the story become like it's a marvelous thing. And so I think that it goes hand in hand with American comic books, DC and Marvel, in the sense where if we allow people to really celebrate these things outside of the films, because in my opinion, as good as the films are, at the end of the day, let's just get back to reading it on paper, dude.
Yeah.
And manga.
The book is always better than the fucking movie, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm getting too passionate. I need to shut the fuck up.
How dare you get passionate, you dick?
Just, I think manga is one of these mediums that's untapped.
So Berserk and JoJo Bizarre Adventures.
JoJo's Bizarre
Adventures. Are the ones, so we'll check those out. That's some good recommendations, man. I appreciate that, man. Let's see, Michelle Savage Dragon, longest running American comic book single artist writer. So yeah, that's 30 years right there. So yeah, he's on that manga level, man. Thoughts on a Time Bandits remake?
They're remaking Time Bandits. They can't do that.
Yeah, the movie's okay. Yeah, I think
it's a fun movie, but
it's a weird movie, like, but it'll be hard to remake.
Terry No Terry Gilliam. No Terry Gilliam. That movie should not be remade.
See, Emily, that cat is singing. He's talking. I think she's talking about one. Let's see. Lori, the Mystery Man is better than the Inhumans. Yes, it is.
It is. I agree.
Very much so. Alex, nowhere near as cool as the X-Men, but Black Bolt and Karnak aren't bad characters.
Black Bolt's cool. He's all right, but he's cool. Not. I wouldn't fucking like. He's not one of the first people I would mention as one of my favorites at all. Probably not even the top 20.
Michelle, comic book shop crawl. Yeah, I'm always down with that. Yeah, yeah. They're not walking distance. A lot of these comic shops. Well, you definitely try it.
We're gonna be crawling after a fucking hill.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, Eisner nominees were announced. Alex, didn't know many books but Dr. Doom by Christopher Cantwell, one of my favorite books of the year, was nominated best limited series. It's not a limited series though; it's an ongoing series. That series is amazing. If you want to read that, it's pretty goddamn good. Let's see. Alex, Juan, hell of YouTube channels recommend Berserk. So yeah, see, Juan's on the fucking Juan knows what's up. Let's see. Michelle, Fist of the North Star is one of my faves manga.
It's a good one.
It is. Let's see. Tomy, Japanese horror manga.
I haven't heard that one.
I haven't heard of that one. Yeah. Good one. Juan, you heard of that one?
I've heard of it. Good thing.
Yeah.
Tomy.
Yeah. Rick, have you seen Battelle, the Indian zombie series on Netflix?
I haven't yet, and I've been neglecting a lot. It's rough because I now that I'm getting all these streaming services at the beginning of the month, you have to start like jumping to what's the new stuff. What do they have new? What's going to be the new movies that they maybe I haven't seen, but so I seen on that one. I've seen the trailer, dude. Fucking Batal is fucking pretty dope, man. I'm loving. I'm so happy that like zombies is like the one thing that you can like, as far as like zombie flicks, you can get them from anywhere. Korea.
Everyone has their version of that.
Everybody has their version, and it.
You ever see awesome. the Japanese movie Versus?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
that shit's weird.
It's like samurais versus zombies in the woods. It's fucking weird.
Yes.
All right. So that was a good discussion on a bunch of topics. So now I guess we'll talk about this first, and then we can go through the rest of the X-Men franchises. I watched Dark Phoenix for the first time the other night. So I told these guys.
First time?
First time, yeah. I had it. I bought it for like $5 on Blu-ray somewhere. Like I was like, I'm gonna hate watch this at some point. So every time I've been tempted to put it on, I've been like, So I was in the right mood, the right fucking right mood to watch it up. I watched it. Jesus Christ, what a fucking piece of shit this movie is. Oh my god, dude. Like,
where do we start?
It's just. All right.
From the beginning,
you made Last Stand. Okay, you made a shitty fucking Dark Phoenix movie. So what you do is you remake Last Stand, but make it worse. Fucking stand this shit, dude. Like it's.
Like you already fucked up. You would think they would think and that they learned. You did not learn from their mistakes.
Yeah,
you made another shitty movie.
All right. So let's get some initial thoughts. So, like, Juan, what'd you think of this movie? I gave you some homework to watch this.
You gave me some homework. Look, man, don't get upset with me. But I told my roommate, I'm like, yo, dude, I need to watch The Dark Phoenix. Have you seen it? And he's like, yes. I'm like, all right, well, you down to watch it again? And he's like, no. And he loves comic book movies. Yeah. And he's just like, bro, I can't watch that again. And I was like, I really got to watch this though. He's like, well, you can watch it on your own. And I tried watching it a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I got like 10 minutes and I was just like, yeah, this is just, I'm not
mad at you.
I'm not either, dude.
It's a fucking, dude, nothing happens in this fucking movie. Like they remade fucking Last Time. They took the worst parts of that fucking movie and made it worse. We're going full spoilers too. So if you I'm sorry, we're saving you from watching this piece of shit fucking movie. Like it's definitely, it makes me appreciate Last Stand more because at least they fucking tried. Okay, so Rick, you watched this again. You took some notes. So I guess
I took a fucking shit ton of notes, man. Okay, so and I didn't think it was gonna give me this much of negative notes to start off. I was just like, okay. Where do we start? Are we talking about the movie or can we talk about some positive things real quick, please? Positives?
I have only negative things really to say about this movie.
The only positive thing I have still is some of the cast.
Some of the casting's okay. Like
the cast is okay. You know,
like I like Ty Sheridan. I think
Ty Sheridan's great. Ty Sheridan's
underused. I think underused. All the characters are underused. Like Storm had nothing to do. Nightcrawler had nothing to do. Cyclops had nothing to do. They focus on Phoenix being fucking mopey for fucking 2 hours, just walking around. Like she was Apocalypse in this movie. That's the problems I had with fucking Apocalypse.
She's emo Phoenix.
Like
she's emo Phoenix. They're like, dude, I want to see her fucking like be regal. And like she knows she's a badass.
Like dude, you have two source material. You have the fucking cartoon series and you have the comic book. Like all you have to do is like pull shit from there, man. All you have to do. They have two great epic fucking things to fucking pull from.
This is the second time they fucking didn't pay attention to the source material.
The only thing I have positive about this in the Dazzler scene, I like fucking seeing Dazzler in the
Dazzler was cool.
In her 70s like fucking like disco outfit. That was the only fucking decent thing in this fucking movie, dude.
But the negative about that, it was too short at the same time. It was like a lot real misplaced. I would like to see her other, something else, but
so do you guys think, was this just a cash grab? What was this?
I think this is written by Simon Kinberg.
That's where I was going to go to. I was going to go to Kinberg.
He's written and directed this. This is his first time he directed a movie. He's written he's pretty much had a hand in
a lot of the X-Men movies.
A lot of the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
I think from the beginning almost.
Yeah.
I think he wrote Last Stand too. So I don't understand, like, why wouldn't you like fix the mistakes from your fucking shitty movie the first time? Like we'll talk about Last Stand in a minute, but like, dude, like you made the same mistakes and took out any of the charm. Like Last Stand had, like Last Stand's a charm days. Like if I could, after this, like I would rather watch Last Stand. This is now the worst X-Men movie. This is now this is taking the top spot of the worst fucking X-Men movie. This fucking movie, like, dude, like there's no like dude, the fucking, first of all, the villain sucks. You can bring in the Shi'ar, like you have the Shi'ar fucking.
There we go. So who the fuck is Vuk? Who or Vuk?
I think it's something from the comic, but nothing like major.
But the thing is, it has nothing to do with this particular storyline. They could have went just Shi'ar.
Use the Brood. You can use. There's so many alien races. Like Fox owns the Skrulls. You could have used the fucking Skrulls. They were kind of Skrull-like in this movie. It was like, dude, and that was another problem with this movie. Like you have a whole fucking library of X-Men characters, and you use some fucking dreadlock fucking mutant as one of the enemies. Who the fuck is that guy? I've never even seen that fucking guy, dude.
Don't know who he is.
You have so many people you could fucking use for this movie, dude.
With the effects that they used for him, it could have been Omega Red.
Anybody, and
just somebody else. I mean, cool effects. Omega
use
Red.
Fucking dude, use Mondo from the Generation X. Use
fucking, yeah, Mondo. That would have been sick.
Use fucking anybody. Use fucking Marrow. Use Chamber. Fucking random. There's so many characters. Like I've read so many X-Men in my day. Like I know a lot of the characters. There's so many characters you could use. Like for his two little henchmen, Magneto's henchmen. Like fucking who the fuck are these guys? Dude, he could have put anybody in those fucking places. Oh my god, I'm so fucking mad.
Omega Red would have been incredible.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, I think what happens is like they want to be clever and create characters.
There's no characters in this movie. There's only like less than 10 X-Men movie, like recognizable X-Men in this movie. This is supposed to be like the big. This is Dark Phoenix. This is like last, and they're kind of like knew this is one of the like big X-Men movies. Like, dude,
you're gonna love this. So this is how I kind of equated this movie. It's the Mortal Kombat Annihilation of X-Men movies.
At least they had fucking characters.
Everybody was just jammed in there as fucking. Every character that was like introduced was shoehorned in there.
Okay. I have another positive. Jennifer Lawrence gets killed in this movie. Sorry.
I think that was, you know what? And honestly,
she should have got killed in First Class because
I clapped when that happened. I was like, yes, thank you.
I think Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress, but she did not want to be in these movies anymore. Like you could tell from like 2 movies ago, she was over this fucking shit, and they kept shoehorning in. Like, sorry, like Mystique was never this like major of a character. She was never a leader.
She never mattered this much, dude. In anything in many X-Men storylines, I don't think she was like too much of a big player.
No, she was always like a character, but she not like this.
Not like this, where she's
just
like,
because Jennifer Lawrence fucking became a big star. They're like, okay, we gotta fucking ride her fucking coattails and make her the fucking main protagonist of these fucking movies.
Trust me, this is part of my notes. I was like,
fucking heard it so much.
Like the first thing I wrote down was, again with Mystique. Like, honestly, I know too much about Mystique, who's not an X-Men. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay.
Another thing too is the end of X-Men Apocalypse. At least they all different uniforms. They had like cool looking uniforms, like almost like 90s inspired uniforms.
Yeah, very.
And this one, they fucking have the fucking porn
spandex,
the porn parody Star Trek uniforms. Like even like the last like 30 minutes, they don't even have their uniforms. They're just fighting in street clothes. Like really, like this is a comic book movie, dude. Like oh my God, dude. This fucking movie pisses me off so much, man. Like they like it's one thing if this was like the first one, but they had
they
two
fucked up. Yeah, they fucked
twice.
up already, and they made it worse and they fucked up again. Yeah, I blame Kimberg on this shit.
Kimberg for sure, yeah.
Because it's his movie.
He had honestly, a chance to like right the wrongs from the last movie he did.
The only thing I'm thankful for is that if anything, Marvel under Disney is not gonna hopefully bring this fucking asshole back.
Yeah, no, there was like rumors like he wants to make another. Like,
he wants to, but you can want things all you want. Ryan Johnson wants to make a Star Wars movie. It's not going to happen. No, it's. I think Kimberg, especially the fact that he had Last Stand, and yeah, he shit in the cereal with that one, and in this one he fucking screwed the pooch. You fucked up once, bro. And not just that, you clung to some of the same fucking story tropes from your first fuck up into this one.
There was not like the action sucked in the takes place on a train, which was
that's what I was gonna tell you. The big thing. Aren't they supposed to be in space for half this fucking movie?
Well, I guess some of they had to reshoot a lot lot because I guess they had some of the same tropes that Captain Marvel had.
So is there a Kimberg cut out there?
He's saying that he was asked about that recently too. So I think there might be, but no one wants to see that shit. Dude.
It's just if it was anything close to the shit that we got, it's just like, dude, it's fucking. I don't know if they can redeem it.
And what pisses me off now, they can't do Dark Phoenix for another fucking 20 years because they already tried twice in the last 15 years, and now they're
what?
Gonna do it again. So now that Marvel has a fucking character, like we won't see it in fucking the next 15, 20 years.
I think fucking Disney has enough fucking. Like, we can do it better.
Yeah, but they won't do it. They won't do it. It's going to be a while before you see it.
I wouldn't say 20 years. It would probably be the next after this big bad that comes out. Phoenix could be the next big bad.
20 years for
the franchise, for the MCU.
The movie sucks. There's weak villains. The ending sucks. Fassbender's good. I like Matt.
Fassbender's always good, man.
Fassbender's good. I'm kind of over McAvoy's Xavier. I kind of miss Patrick Stewart.
I like McAvoy.
He's all right.
I
don't know. I'm done talking about this fucking movie. Fuck this movie. It's fucking.
Not yet. I fucking took a lot of notes.
Go through your notes. Let's get over this.
All right, let's fucking do this. All right. So
go ahead, Juan. Sorry. Go ahead, Juan.
Go on.
I was gonna say that I think like a great villain coming up for the next series, for the next films should be Galactus, dude. It should all just be.
Yeah, I think Galactus. Yeah,
I want Doom.
Doom and Galactus are definitely gonna be the big parts of the next phases for sure.
Because Galactus, I've never seen. Like me personally, I don't see him as a villain. I just see him as a fucking.
Motherfucker has the munchies, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Fieldy. He has the munchies.
Yeah, he is. Dude, I already fed you. So yeah, Galactus.
Fieldy hungers. He hungers.
I'm his herald of shit. Rick, get me food.
Here's my point.
Herald of Fieldy.
Here's my point. Is that Galactus is like the villain that we're told, but Doom is the villain in the cuts. But then the real evil is zombies.
Marvel zombies?
I like
yes.
The glasses.
That'd be sick.
Yes,
Marvel zombies? I can see that.
Yeah, dude. You know what I mean? And it doesn't go full blown, but like it happens a little bit.
You never go full blown zombie.
You never go full blown, but it goes Galactus. But you're right. Then we realize he's just got the munchies. We realize he's being manipulated by the fucking maniacal Doom. But what the Doom doesn't realize is he's playing into this fucking thing.
Well, Doom's gonna end up like siding with them and helping them like save the fucking universe because at the base of it, Doom is actually he doesn't want the Earth to go away because he wants to fucking rule it. You can't rule what's not there. So
he's like, I have to save something.
Yeah. And he always wants to make Richards look bad. So let's see. Let's read a couple chats before we go. All right, we're gonna go through the X-Men franchises and kind of. Actually, no, Rick, go through your notes. Let's go through your notes.
All right.
You work so hard on them.
I work so hard. Okay, so opening scene with parents dying with fucking Jean. What the fuck was that about, dude?
Yeah, that's another retcon of the.
Yeah, it's just fucking up with stories and shit. Okay, the Blackbird coming out of the fucking basketball was fucking kind of cool.
They did that in the fucking first movie. What the fuck?
It was still fucking cool. Okay, it's just like it fucking harkens back to the cartoon and seeing the fucking shit live. Always fucking good.
Singing in the dead of night.
Cody Smith McPhee, great Nightcrawler.
He did nothing in this movie.
But still, he's a good Nightcrawler. When he comes on the screen, he's still like, it's not his fault that it's like a good. It's what I'm saying. It's the good things. He's a good Nightcrawler. Too bad they fucking underutilize him. Jessica Chastain's character. What the fuck? Why not Shi'ar? I mean.
Like Lalandra or anybody from the Shi'ar,
dude.
Or what was it the chick's name? The enemy, the Deathbird. The Deathbird.
Yeah, I can't remember Deathbird. I can't remember her name though.
Deathbird.
No, yeah, but like Lalandra, her sister has a name. Yeah, I can't remember, but it's Deathbird.
Like you have Dark Phoenix. You involve the Shi'ar. Why not?
Yeah.
You could add like a storyline involving the Shi'ar and the Brood. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Right. So anytime Jean was like going to their whole Phoenix things, why are they fucking showing like the skin crackling? All they have to do is show the eyes. They can.
Her trying to force that American accent is not good. She's trying.
Yeah, it's really thick. Yeah, her accent's actually pretty fucking thick.
It's not good. I think she's a fine actress.
I like her though as Jean though. It's just I think in time, hopefully her accents get better. She's still pretty young, so. Yeah. But she's a good actress. Let me see. Okay, so the other question I was going to have is, when it came to Captain Marvel, what came out first? Was it Captain Marvel or this?
Captain Marvel came out first. I think it was.
Okay, and Guardians definitely came out before all of this. Why can't they fucking include the element of the Shi'ar and go fucking with the storyline? Like Marvel
that's
already.
The question we're asking, Rick. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's just. They could have added help. They could have added a Hellfire Club. There was a way they could have fucking made that. I don't know. Did you see the Bishop Power Van? I don't know if that was some kind of.
Yeah, I thought in the background. Yeah, that was.
I don't know if that was some kind of Easter egg.
I assumed it's an Easter egg, but yeah.
Whatever. Thank God when Jean kills Mystique, practically stood up and applauded.
It should have happened 2 movies ago. But all right.
Yeah. Just Fassbender's good.
Fassbender's good. I think he like kind of carries this movie with like fucking.
I did like the scene where like
he's the only one that it seems like he gives a fuck about.
In the context of the film, I did like the scene that Charles had with fucking Jean Grey. Like causing her to kind of help out and like change her whatever. Yeah.
You gotta change your Phoenix ways.
The Dark Phoenix is just a name only. This is not a fucking Phoenix movie, man.
She doesn't go Phoenix, man. Like they don't do the flame bird. They do like a little fucking
there
flame
is
bird in the
nothing.
sky. Fucking, like, dude, like you keep.
It's just like, okay. Could they use part of the history of this series, or are they just gonna reboot?
They're gonna reboot the whole thing. Yeah,
you think so? They're not gonna keep.
I like the young actors playing the young X-Men. I would like to see them like do like some dimension thing where like they bring them in, like they cross over. But I'm okay with them just rebooting the whole fucking thing.
All right, so I hope Kimber gets replaced and no fucking end credit scene that pissed me off.
Yeah, well, this is the end. Like what they really should have did is just Phoenix go full Phoenix and destroy the universe, and that's the end of the fucking franchise.
That would have been perfect.
That would have been fine. Like just throw a scene where she goes fucking full Phoenix, destroys everything, end of the Fox franchise, and we're done.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain seemed pointless.
Yeah, she's a great actress too.
She's a great actress, just wasted because her character had nothing to do.
It's pointless. It was like nameless fucking villains. Like, oh, they're shape shifting aliens. Like they nothing. It was fucking.
This is just Dark Phoenix in name only. There was Kimberg. You fucked up, bro. I don't think you should. I don't think
you're done fucked up.
I don't think he should be allowed to ever like honestly either write or direct a comic book movie or anything based on any kind of
he's trying to direct he's trying to do a Star Wars movie too at some point.
No, so fuck him. He can go suck a dick. He can go wait with Ryan Johnson somewhere. No.
Oh man, no. That's Brian. You're talking about Bryan Singer. So all right. So speaking of which, you got any more notes, Rick? Let's. I think we should fucking move on from Dark Phoenix. Let's talk about some good X-Men movies.
Good X-Men movies.
So the first one we're going to talk about X-Men 2000. So just we're going to go through the franchise, kind of talk about the franchise from the X-Men on. So we'll go through them. We'll try to go through them. So the first X-Men movie came out. Was it 2000? I rewatched part of this last night. It's a fun movie. It has
great scenes, man.
It doesn't get everything perfect, but it's a fun flick. Juan, what'd you think of the first X-Men movie?
Everything you said. I mean, it was like it felt like it was inspired by the Fox series more than anything, the animated series. It was all right.
Yeah. But I like the interaction with Xavier, like casting Xavier and Ian McKellen as Magneto. Those are the best casting in the fucking movie because those guys are really fucking their interaction, especially like the first scene when he's
the first scene they chew. Yeah.
We are the future, Charles, not them.
Not that to me, that whole line and the way he delivers it when he walks away, it's just to me that embodies really Magneto. Yeah.
Yeah, the casting's pretty good in this movie. Like Famke Jensen as Jean Grey, she's fine. I think they messed up kind of going older with some of these characters. I think they should have, but I think the casting's fine. Like James Marsden as Cyclops is fine. I think he's good. He never had really much to do, but he did, for what he got to do, he did great. I thought Halle Berry was kind of miscast as Storm. Anna Paquin was okay. She wasn't playing the comic book the Rogue, which she was a Jubilee role.
She was playing like a X-Men cinematic universe version of fucking Rogue and shit, which I don't like. I don't like when they like revamp them.
Yeah. What do you think of Juan? What do you think of Hugh Jackman when you first saw him as Wolverine? Was that the Wolverine you expected to see on screen?
No.
He was too tall.
It's 100% too tall. Too handsome.
Yeah, it took me a while to warm up to Hugh Jackman. I think like towards the end of the X-Men franchise, I was more into it. But like, yeah, it's just like to me, Wolverine's always been that 5'6" runt, fucking underdog, fucking gruffy, fucking mutton chops, fucking growly little fucking dude, not fucking handsome leading man. I could be James Bond if I want, fucking actor like
Wolverine Logan's supposed to be a little creepy, dude. He's weird. He's
a loner.
Dude, even amongst the X-Men, he's an outcast. He's awkward, dude, and he's aggressive and he's creepy. That's
kind of molestery, like hitting on fucking Jean Grey, like fucking.
Yeah, I know, right? And he's hella old as shit, bro.
Get off his Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah. So but he's supposed to be more Jack Nicholson in The Shining than anything. Yeah. On edge, aggressive, just antisocial. But it was still a good film.
Yeah, it's a fun film. Yeah, for what it was. What's your favorite scene from that movie?
Favorite scene. Let me think. I don't know, dude. I mean, I can't. I didn't just watch it, so I couldn't tell you.
I kind of like when they're driving in the snowstorm and they get the tree Rogue over and Wolverine flies through the windshield and Sabretooth attacks them and then Cyclops and Storm come on and save them. I kind of like that scene. Kind of a cool introduction to those characters. I thought Sabretooth was kind of lame. It was kind of the mutants look cool. Like the leather suits were like, but it was like that time like. In leather suits, like the Matrix just kind of ruined movies for a while because everybody had to like copy that.
Everybody was wearing black and shit.
What about you, Rick? What's your favorite scene from that movie?
Dude, favorite scene. Actually, it's the only scene I kind of like Wolverine in is because I can't really see his face and it's all silhouettes, and it's just like they shot pages of the comic book. Was the fight scene like
which one?
When they're in the barn. Canada. Up in
when
the,
they're
in the
bar.
yeah,
when he's like
and they're in the
fight,
bar,
he's like in
and
the little fight pit, and he just
and he's just like leaning up, and he just like sparks a cigarette, and he just has a cigarette in his mouth, and he just pulls it out, and he just starts smoking. You don't see anything. You don't see it's Hugh Jackman. You just see the silhouette of fucking Wolverine, and I just thought that was the fucking coolest thing.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, it's like, wow, you're showing me Wolverine like this. Oh, I can't wait for this fucking for the rest of this. But that's about the coolest
for the budget.
thing.
It was like a $75 million budget too, so it wasn't like a big budget movie. They didn't know what to think of this. All right, so let's go to X2, X-Men United, which is we did a top 10 comic book movie list a couple weeks ago, and this was my number 10. I think Rick this was on your list too, right?
Yeah, this was definitely on
X2, X-Men United came out in 2003. This is definitely probably the best fucking X-Men movie up there for sure. Just, you know, right off the bat, the opening scene with Nightcrawler is just fucking amazing. Some of the best, like one of the best opening scenes in the fucking a movie period, but comic book movie. They kind of like righted they had a bigger budget for this one. They had great cameos, like Colossus had a cool little quick scene. You know, they definitely added some more stuff, added a couple more characters. Lady Deathstrike was one of the villains.
I love that. Yeah.
The fight scene between her and Wolverine is amazing. Juan, what'd you think of X-Men 2?
Honestly, I'm still up until this point X-Men 1. Still prefer X-Men 1.
Really? Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I know. Wow. I like your opinions on this. I mean, dude, like, without getting too much, none of these X-Men films really got me until a little bit later on. So I don't want to get into it too much, but when we get to the films that I really like.
Okay, so
well, when you have opinions, I see how it is.
So you're sitting up pretty much like after Last Stand, or you're like, I'm jumping
I think first class is that.
I'm jumping in at first class.
No. I'll put it to you this way. You know, like it's like the Resident Evil films. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not jumping into any of those.
Yeah. Well, I love some of the Resident Evil films, but I like some of them. I watch them because I'm like, all right, I guess I should watch this. And and I know you guys obviously seem to enjoy X2 more than you enjoy the original X-Men film, but I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't. I was just like,
for me, it's like just I can't get over like the storm line. Like what happens to you know
who wrote that line, right?
Joss Whedon.
The cast is cool. They added what's his name, Brian Cox as a Stryker. They added they added a couple other characters.
The lady Deathstrike and like
Kelly Hugh.
Wolverine, Wolverine fucking fight was pretty
that was
sick,
great.
You know?
That was great.
That was a great fucking fight scene.
And I like how they teased the Phoenix at the end, man. Jean Grey dies and fucking water.
And that was about the best version of the Phoenix that we got in any of the fucking versions of the movie, man.
Yeah, and Cyclops, they kind of undervalued Cyclops again, man. Cyclops is one of my favorite X-Men, and he's so crucial to the X-Men like storyline. Like he's so been underused in all these movies, really. All right, so your favorite scene in X2?
Favorite scene in X2? I mean, I have to go with definitely Nightcrawler, but everybody says that, so I'm gonna say, my second one is the fight between Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike. It was a great fucking fight.
The scene where the then takes the school. That's a pretty fucking awesome scene. Where Wolverine,
which one?
The scene where the military comes in and takes the school.
Yes, that's a great fucking scene too.
Yeah, Wolverine goes fucking balls out, and they fucking it's a great fucking scene.
That was good.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. All right.
I'll at least say that I did love the scene where Mystique was in Stryker's facility. I like that one.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah. Where she where Magneto escapes.
It's like fucking Wancho, like the fucking Wizard of Oz right now behind the fucking curtain.
The scene where Magneto escapes is also really cool. Yeah.
The Magneto escape scene's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think X2 had a few better moments, especially that you didn't have like a fucking weird ass Sabretooth. I don't know. I just didn't like Sabretooth, and I wasn't like a big fan of the whole Senator Kelly turning into like a big bowl of jelly.
The one is not great. Like, like it's not really well thought out.
Yeah, I was like, what's the jelly thing? Like, what the fuck?
All right, let's go to 2006 X-Men: The Last Stand, which I don't hate as much as I used to now. Like, I think it's an achievement in filmmaking compared to fucking Dark Phoenix. So this one is directed.
Wait a minute, you're digging something fucking Ratner made. That's kind of crazy.
It was I think Matthew Vaughn was originally supposed to direct this one.
He should have directed.
He was supposed to direct this one, but some scheduling shit got in the way. So Brett Ratner came in. Brett Ratner, a famous fucking hack. It's
Rush Hour director.
Yeah, he. It's the one thing that pissed me off about this movie, like killing Cyclops early on. Like just like kind of like a no nothing fucking scene too. Like if you read any of the comics or seen the cartoon, Cyclops is has a major role in the Dark Phoenix saga, and killing him off right away and just with no like a non-event just kind of pissed me off, just right off the bat.
Because apparently James Marsden doesn't matter. Fucking Hugh Jackman and Wolverine matter more to Jean Grey than fucking Cyclops does.
Like I really like Kelsey Grammer as fucking Beast. I think they fucking nailed it with fucking the casting of Beast.
Incredible.
Yeah, I think it's like I remember not liking it at the beginning because I had Fraser in my fucking head too much. But like, rewatched
he sounds great.
Rewatching it, that was a perfect cast. I think that they nailed it right there. That was pretty good.
I just didn't like so much what the makeup on his like on the facial part. It was just a little weird to me. That's about the only issue I had with it.
Kitty Pryde, what's her name? As Kitty Pryde was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. What's the actress name?
Fucking forget her
Juno.
name right now.
Why am I forgetting her? She was really good.
She was in Umbrella Academy.
The Angel storyline, I didn't like the fucking weird.
I hate Ben Foster.
I'm not a big Ben Foster guy.
I hate Ben Foster.
He doesn't really like Angel in the comic is like this like aristocratic fucking like what's his name the dude from Social Network should have played him.
Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer would have been a perfect Angel.
Armie Hammer, actually, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Armie Hammer probably could have been a perfect Archangel. I see Archangel as that fucking snoot. He's, you know who I kind of see it perfect? Ray, you seen Friday the 13th, the remake, right?
Yes.
That one blonde-headed dickhead dude.
Yeah.
Who didn't want people.
Has Warren Worthington III.
Yes, that's Warren Worthington written all over him right here.
Can I tell you who would have been all time though? Like if he would have, if the
Zach
film would
Morris?
have been. No. It would have been 100% the best Archangel of all time would have been Jude Law.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Jude Law is the quintessential. You're English aristocrat.
Because he's a prick. He's a little bit of a prick.
He was almost going to play Superman at one point.
Oh, he's too pricky for that shit. No, too much of a prick.
So, Alon, what do you think of Last Stand? What's your stance on The Last Stand?
I mean, I like it. I thought it was. I like it.
Controversial.
I thought them killing Cyclops. I thought it was beautiful.
What?
Your cat does not agree.
He does not agree. Thank you, Fieldy. Me and you are on the same page.
Ellen Page. What? Yeah, there you go.
Ellen Page.
It hurt, dude. When I saw Cyclops like get killed, it hurt me. Like I get it wasn't true to the canon. It wasn't true to, but you're right, and maybe it would have served the story better in some other ways. But it hurt, dude. And then I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was like you could see like. It showed how much she had lost control of herself, that she would destroy, like, dude, because like is it Michael? Was it James Madsen? Is that his name?
No, fucking
James
Marsden.
James Marsden.
James Marsden. He's playing that all American, like out of all the X-Men, you could tell, dude, he was the one X-Men that he really wishes he was human. You know what I mean? Like there was no.
Well, he has an actual affliction, like like Storm. Jean Grey and Wolverine, they can go outside and have a normal life, but he's always had with, he can't. He has to wear those fucking goggles for the fucking rest of his fucking life.
It's like him and Nightcrawler. They can't really go out in public and shit.
And you could just feel like, his earnestness and like his purity and like how he really just wanted his high school sweetheart. And
I just wish they would have focused on that more. Like they just kind of like shortchanged Cyclops. Like in all these movies, they kind of just gave him like the short end of the stick.
you say that, but you know, like to the real fans, we knew what was going on, dude. We knew who Cyclops was and what he was about. This is
Yeah.
before he ended up becoming like a fucking villain in modern
Yeah,
Marvel comic.
they kind of retconned that, thankfully, because that was stupid.
But
Because
so
Cyclops, if you know the comic, and if you read any of the comics, like the people go Cyclops based on like the TV show and
Yes.
the movies,
based off the movies, they don't know him.
like Cyclops in the comic is a fucking badass dude. I think
He's
Cyclops is one of the most underrated characters of all time. And you know, and they just got the stereotypical view from like the cartoon, which didn't really portray him that great. Just like, oh, I'm the Boy Scout leader of the X-Men. I'm just gonna be a prick all the time. But the comic book is way more complicated, way more fucking in depth.
Yeah.
See, to me, for Cyclops, the one thing that kind of gets me about these X-Men movies is at the core of everything, like at the core of almost every X-Men story, it's Scott and Jean.
Yeah, they're a huge part.
It's Scott and Jean, and
Scott and Jean story. Yeah, like they're probably my favorite couple in comic books.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Yeah, I love their dynamic. I love like the shit they've been through. Like they've been through hell and back, man. I love those characters, man.
Well, to be fair, the first time I watched it, you know, knowing about Dark Phoenix and her power, I did get a sense that maybe she had the power to bring him back if she wanted to.
Yeah, they kind of left it open. They definitely left it open, and they kind of definitely retconned it during Days of Future Past. We'll get to in a second. Juan, what'd you think of Juggernaut? Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut.
I thought it was great. I love that they had this scene. Didn't they have the line like, "Oh, it's the fucking Juggernaut" or something?
Yeah, there was that fucking YouTube.
Bitch.
Is that the YouTube video where they like redubbed the X-Men cartoon, like I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Like, and it was a whole thing in the internet for a long time. So they actually put that in the movie.
I thought it was great. I thought he did a great job.
I thought that scene was funny. I think like I actually enjoyed that scene. Yeah, for sure. Like him chasing.
It made me happy.
Let's see. All right. So favorite scene from X-Men Last Stand.
For me, it's gotta be when fucking Xavier goes to see Jean and he's just overwhelmed by her power.
When he dies?
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, look, it's a dark fucking ending, but I loved it. I was like watching like, you know, I'm sorry, Patrick. I can't remember his name. Patrick Stewart, and he's overwhelmed, and he's using his Shakespearean fucking theater skills, and he's just like, "Oh, Gene," and it's just like, right? He basically like, I thought it was great, dude. I'm like, it's how
that in the comic they had like a creepy like storyline that went through like a bunch. Like he actually had a crush on. He actually was in love with Jean Grey from like when she was like a little underage teenager. That's like an underlying thing for like a long time.
Get rid of that shit. I don't want to hear about nothing about that.
Super creepy.
But I can tell you that like if you go back and rewatch that scene, you get to see a master of acting.
It's the best casting out of any X-Men movie. It really is. Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier. That's the best.
And you get to see him killed by one of his most beloved students, dude. So for me, watching that scene, I mean, look, I'm a sucker. I felt it. I was like, this sucks. This sucks. In a good way, though.
I like the scene where Magneto takes the Golden Gate Bridge, and
that's my favorite right there.
Just bridges to the Alcatraz Island. That was a cool scene. Yeah,
it just shows the immense amount of power the guy got, man. Even at an older age.
They use all these like bootleg ass mutants in the fight, but it was it's like I'm telling you, I watched Dark Phoenix. I kind of appreciate Last Stand for what it is now. So I'm it's not the least favorite anymore. All right, so let's go talk about another great one, X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I remember seeing like a few, because I remember getting the bootleg. I remember this movie famously got leaked like early on, like probably like 8 months before it came out. I remember getting a hold of it and watching it, and pretty much hating the shit out of it because it was not a great movie. The first 20 minutes are great, like when they're like the opening credits when him and Sabretooth are going through time. Through different wars, like different eras, is actually really good.
The opening credits.
Yeah, opening credits. No, the first 20 minutes of this movie is not bad actually. The first like 20, like, but once that first 20 minutes is over, Holy shit, this movie is fucking a piece of shit. Liev Schreiber is amazing. I think he's great as Sabretooth. I think he's a perfect.
Only part you could keep.
The only thing I would get rid of, like him crawling on fours, like running around like fucking Fieldy in the field. That's not great.
Fieldy, they're making funny.
Like some of the cast, like they had Ryan Reynolds has Deadpool, Wade Wilson at first, which was okay in the beginning, and then at the end, they fucking sealed his mouth and had one of the worst fucking fight scenes of any fucking comic book movie of all time.
What the fuck, lasers?
So, Juan, what'd you think of this movie? What'd you think of X-Men Origins?
I mean, look, what I think about the movie is that when you take such a phenomenally well-written and designed character like Deadpool and you cover his mouth, dog, like...
And you turn him into Baraka from Mortal Kombat?
Dude, you basically show that not only do you not understand the source material, you don't respect it.
Yeah.
And I watched the film because I just wanted to know, like, why do you hate these characters, or do you just not like, or do you just like not? What is your motivation? It broke my heart, dude. It could have been the most iconic moment up to that point in the X-Men films, where this dark, brooding Wolverine that had been built up by Hugh Jackman goes and battles this hilarious, loudmouth, but also evil, because they could have made him an evil Deadpool.
That's how Deadpool started in the comic as a villain. He was a bad guy in the beginning. He was a fucking
too much shit.
The merc with the mouth, man. He was in fucking New Mutants number 98, going into X-Force. He was a villain. He was a mercenary, and dude.
They could have done it. It would have blown people's minds, because it would have been like, right? Because what ended up happening, right? When Deadpool came out,
you could have started the Deadpool movie 10 years before it came out. You could
have exactly. And you would have like, you would have like put comic book movies way ahead of the fucking loop anyway, and like in terms of like what is possible. But that fucking, just that dynamic, to me, it just makes that movie almost unwatchable.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, especially towards the end, it just turns into a fucking mess. You had what's his name? Tyler Kitsch as Remy LaBelle, fucking Gambit's first appearance in the live action. I thought that was kind of mishandled. Like he's not using his powers right. He's like doing it like his staff is like creating earthquakes and shit. Like he would have done a fine. Like Tyler Kitsch is actually not a bad actor. Like that John Carter.
Underrated.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, him as Gambit was kind of misused. Like it was kind of stupid. They had Will.i.am was in it. He played a fucking unit. Yeah.
I'm tired of like all those like celebrity cameos if they're not going to give him like a fucking decent like character to play.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to bring in a celebrity, like don't just fucking like, oh, I'm just going to write this character that doesn't exist, like just for you, or not just, or it doesn't exist, excuse me, but maybe just little known, like give him something a little bit better and shit, man.
And it's just like, yeah, and this is before like Hugh Jackman. I think definitely after this, Hugh Jackman finds his like role. Like it's just a bad movie. All right, so we're gonna think positive. What's your favorite scene from this movie, one, if there's any?
Favorite scene from that film. When Wolverine kills Deadpool.
When the movie ends. Yeah. That's my favorite movie. When this fucking piece of shit fucking ends. Rick, what's your favorite scene from this movie?
Opening sequence, but this movie is utter shit.
Yeah. I do like the scene where when the little squad infiltrates and like fucking Deadpool goes in, Wade Wilson goes in and like slices up the bullets and shit. That scene, like up to that point, the movie's fine. But after that, it's fucking sucks.
Can I do though? Like Reynolds did make an attempt, dude.
Yeah, no, he was a comic book fan.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah, he tried. I think he actually said some shit on set, like, "Hey, this is not right."
Yeah,
and he's not the guy, and he's not under the makeup too. During that last scene,
no, that was Scott Adkins, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Adkins.
Ryan Reynolds. If you see like once Deadpool's mouth is like sealed up, he works the shit out of his eyes.
Yeah, he's doing his best. He's doing his best, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So X-Men. All right. X-Men. All right. So let's. Well, we're back to a good X-Men movie. X-Men First Class, directed by Vaughn, great Matthew Vaughn. This is going back, kind of like telling like the timelines and like the shit they like retcon these, like every movie they retcon some shit. So they're going back to the 60s. They start off with Magneto, Nazi Hunter, which is amazing. I love the cat. We introduced Fassbender as Magneto, which I think is the second best casting of this X-Men franchise.
Who do you think? Oh, besides Patrick Stewart?
Yeah, after Patrick Stewart, Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
Michael Fassbender is the greatest. Yeah.
I actually think he's better than fucking
I do
Patrick
too.
Stewart.
I do too.
Well, I think he's better than Ian McKellen as Magneto.
Oh, he's way better.
Oh,
than
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Ian McKellen's great, but Fassbender as Magneto is amazing.
I think they would have done better having Fassbender as Magneto and just made him look old. Give him the gray hair, but he's still ripped.
Like what I would love
with Dark Phoenix. They didn't have the gray hair. Have the fucking gray hair. He's older.
What I would love is that they fucking explain that he's figured out a way to manipulate like the magnetic fields around his body to keep him younger.
Well, in the comic, he got de-aged in I think the early 80s. He got turned into a baby.
Yeah.
And then he got aged up again, and where he was like in his like 30s. So that's how they explained his age difference.
Well, they could do that, but that'd be some weird shit to try to explain in the movie.
This is a great movie. Matthew Vaughn, like I said, is directing it. The class of X-Men is not great. Like
that's the only issue I have.
Yeah. The X-Men they pick, like they have Alex Summers, they have the Angel from the Grant Morrison run. They have who's the other? Darwin, Mystique. The class is not great. Like they could definitely pick them better. And Hellfire Club is not great either. Like I think Kevin Bacon's fine, but he's not playing the Sebastian Shaw I know from the comic. Sebastian Shaw in the comic, he's like more of an aristocratic, big barrel-chested fucking asshole. And White Queen is not great in this movie. I'm a big fan of White Queen. White Queen's supposed to be like a porn star, really. Like more. I think she was kind of miscast. Was it January Jones? I think is
yeah.
White Queen. So I wasn't like some of the mutant. Actually, James McAvoy and fucking Fassbender. Magneto, I think is great. I think I would just watch them two fucking act with each other. The movie's great, man. The music, I love how he uses his fucking the actual helmet from the comic. Towards the end is great. Rick, what do you think of this movie?
I loved it. Other than the casting, when it comes to the class, I like to not have Jean or Cyclops to be.
Which I understand the timeline. If you're doing the 60, I guess that kind of makes sense.
I kind of would have rather had them and then like have them as professors, but because the thing is they're gonna have Banshee, and I wasn't a big fan of Banshee.
I like Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne as Moira McTaggart's fine.
I like McTaggart. Yeah, it's just I kind of felt
and Jennifer Lawrence is great in this movie too. Like there was fine if it was just like this, and instead of like fucking going back like making her the main protagonist of this fucking movie.
Well, the other thing too is that they had Havoc in it. I'm like, so all of a sudden now Havoc's
the older brother. Yeah, which
I was like, okay, I would just
for
because of that.
For comic book fans like myself, that kind of irked me because Alex Summers is the younger brother for sure.
And he's such a, and the thing is, he's the perfect younger brother. He's a little snot-nosed punk, like he's a great younger brother. I know.
What'd you think of Nicholas Hoult as a Beast?
So I'm probably the minority with it. I actually like him as Beast.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
It's just I kind
of wish they did. I kind of wish they just stuck with the makeup instead of like trying to make him go back and forth.
Oh yeah, I get it. So like I didn't like the way he looked as Beast in the first one. I liked how he looked in Beast later on. Like it looks like they got the makeup right, but I just didn't like the way he looked as Beast in the first movie. But I liked him as Beast a lot, man. He was a good Beast.
All right. So, Juan, favorite scene from X-Men First Class?
Probably the kissing scene.
Which one?
Which kiss? There's more. I mean, for me, there's only one. It's
when Beast Magneto.
No, it's Magneto and Mystique.
Yeah. The best meme out there. Yeah. No, the real you.
Maybe I'm lame for that, but I think that was. I mean, I guess that, and then. No, that's gonna be it for me. I don't know why. The best scene. Maybe it's not the best scene. It's just like the scene that I always remember.
Yeah,
but it's a meme. I didn't know it was a meme.
Yeah, it was yeah, no, the real you. I like the scene where the montage where they're like looking for all the mutants and they find Wolverine.
Oh
And the thing, like, and
shit!
he tells them to fuck off.
Yes,
the first
that
the
is
first
phenomenal.
the first F-bomb in X-Men history right there. So yeah, I dig that scene. I like that montage. The music, like the 60s kind of music playing and like fucking Wolverine, Professor X and Magneto just kind of like recruiting all these mutants. I dug that scene a lot.
Yeah, but the Magneto and Mystique making out scene is way easier to masturbate to. If you're gonna jack off to a scene,
Rick,
Am I supposed to follow that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
What was your favorite scene from First Class?
Favorite scene from First Class. You know what? I think it's probably the most powerful scene to me. It's seeing Magneto being forced to try to use his powers without not knowing how to use them.
Oh, when
And
he's pulling the coin through the dude's.
yeah,
When he's trying to move the coin.
when he's trying to move the coin, and they pretty much threaten to kill his mother, and they kill his mother right in front of him because he can't do it. And just like the fact that he figured out how to do it through that, but just like almost everything having to do with Magneto in that movie is just it's amazing. Like if they would have gave me Magneto Nazi Hunter for a whole movie, I would have been just like
I think that was the original plan. They were going to do a Magneto movie.
Yeah.
And it was going to be the plot, just him hunting down fucking Nazi. I'm totally down with that.
Like that the scene. What was it? Where did he go to? Argentina when he was up
I
in
think
the
it was
fucking...
Argentina. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that scene where he was just like
great,
what was it? Pick something in Pig Farmers. Tailors and Pig Farmers. Oh, and he fucking just fucked.
The more I think, I kind of agree with you. Yeah, Fassbender might be the best cast in all.
Yeah, I love
all right,
Fassbender.
Let's go through some chats real quick. Victoria McGill, Raymond. Hey, that's my Christian name. You're not supposed to use that. Michelle agreed. Dark Phoenix was a waste. Worst major disappointment. Major disappointment. Yes, I agree.
Very true.
Lori Fieldy agrees with the Dark Phoenix review. Yeah,
he sure does.
He walked out of the house.
Yeah, he fucking left.
Proper Hellfire Club would have been good, Michelle. Yeah, I agree with that. Lori, Jude Law is too pretty, but for Superman, but Henry Cavill isn't. Henry Cavill is a different kind of pretty.
Yeah, fucking Jude Law is a snooty looking mother,fucker, dude. That's the whole thing. He's very snooty.
He's too pretentious. It looks like his shit doesn't stink.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill looks like he should be the fucking he's like the, how do I put this? You know how like there's like the Easter, goddamn cat. You know how Easter has the Easter bunny and Christmas has Santa Claus? Henry Cavill looks like he should be like that equivalent for Father's Day. He's the world. He's the world.
Yeah, definitely with the mustache for sure.
No.
You know, with that mustache, he kind of looks like the dad from Invincible.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So, Omni-Man.
Omni-Man, yeah.
Oh, that's a great book. Let's see. All right, let's go. All right, next we're going to the Wolverine, directed by James Mangold, who directed Logan. I want to talk about the director's cut of this movie because the director's cut is far superior.
It's the only version worth watching.
The biggest problem with this movie is the ending. When he fights Silver Samurai, the big robot Silver Samurai, that's when it fucking loses me. Everything before that is amazing. Like the fight scene on the train is great. Like the fight scene, the fight where
the village
where he's getting hit.
The village scene, yeah.
The arrows get straight out of like Frank Miller, fucking Chris Claremont's comic book. That scene is amazing. But when they get to the Silver Samurai at the end, the robot Silver Samurai, that's when they fucking lose me, man. That's when it goes off the rails. But Juan, what do you think of the Wolverine? Have you seen the director's cut?
No, I haven't seen the director's cut, but
way better. If you get a chance, watch that. It's a way better film.
The rated R version.
Yeah, rated R.
I can just tell you that, like, and whatever. Maybe I'm wrong, but overall, it's my favorite of the X-Men films. I just think it's the Wolverine up until the fucking Silver Samurai, because it feels the most like a comic book.
Yeah.
It does.
And you took all my talking points, which is like, it feels like it reminds me of like Sin City. It's like it has those aesthetics.
Yeah.
I think the pacing is good. I think that the fact that they were bold enough to take this story where it's like they're like, we're gonna develop this one singular person's story. It's off. I mean, come on, let's be real, dude. Like, America is xenophobic. We only want to focus on like American narratives, but they're taking this fucking story to Japan. I mean, it's like culturally, I love it.
Yeah.
It was I don't know what came out first. Was it Guardians of the Galaxy or the Wolverine? Which one came out first?
This came out in 2013.
I think the Wolverine.
Yeah, I think Guardians came out
So
2014, maybe.
so basically
2014, yes.
So basically, Guardians of the Galaxy got all the attention for being like, "Hey, check this out! This is like this quirky, weird. Like, it's not like the most conventional or most popular of the Marvel series, but like, I think that what they did with the Wolverine to me was way more, or not way more, but it was ahead of its. It was before the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was very adventurous. It was not the word I'm looking for. It was not experimental, but it was like they were pushing it. Ambitious, I guess, in a way. You know, they weren't like fucking spoon feeding you an origin story, dude. They were just like,
they were just like, here, we're gonna do a badass action movie in Japan and like fucking have cool fucking fights and fucking. But if they just would have kept Silver Samurai in a fucking regular like samurai suit and they would have had a badass battle at the end, that would probably be the best fucking X-Men movie out of it. But yeah, that fucking last battle with the robot just fucking kills it for me, man.
I'm glad that I'm not off that off key with you, because I think what they were shooting for was great, and I think I can't imagine. I would love to know whose idea it was to represent the Silver Samurai in that way, because
because I think it's a studio coming in like, hey, you need to have a big thing for him to fight, and you have this big fucking robot because robots are everything right now. Transformers was big at the time too, so like, oh, we have to do like he can't just fight a guy. He needs to fight some fucking shitty fucking robot. So yeah, I think if you change that last 20 minutes, man, and like just have him fight fucking Silver Samurai in a fucking suit of armor and just have a badass bloody fucking balls out fucking fight, that movie would be perfect. I think it's just one fight scene away from being perfect. Kind of like the same feeling I have for Black Panther. Like that movie is one fight scene away from being a fucking perfect movie. That last fight scene fucking killed it for me.
Fucking Chala got his ass whooped.
All right, so a favorite scene from the Wolverine one.
You know, dude, don't kill me, but I don't remember. I know there was a lot of snow in that film, right?
Yeah, I think I would go either the train scene was pretty awesome when he's fighting people on the train. That's pretty cool. I'd probably go with that, or the village scene when he's getting shot with the arrow.
I go with the village.
Yeah, the village.
That's my It's just, to me, that feels like
it's so Wolverine.
Like I'm watching. It feels like a Wolverine, like that Wolverine, like you're reading the comic book, but bigger than that. It feels like I'm watching like a fucking anime, like starring Wolverine. Like it takes you to a different place for a quick second. And that's
take me there. I want to go there. Let's go there. I want to go.
Sorry,
there.
Rick. I feel like I disappointed you when you were like, "What's your favorite scene?" I don't know. And I saw Rick
has high standards. You're never gonna live up to the hype for Rick, man. Sorry.
I like that.
Sorry.
All right. I think his cat was gonna meow, and then the cat was like, "Never mind. This is too sad."
All right, just let everyone know we're breaking records today. This is gonna be the longest fucking SF comic book company ever happened. So this is way too good of a conversation. We're going long, Juan. You got nothing to do, right?
I got nothing to do, baby.
There you go. Cool. All right, so let's go to Days of Future Past. One of the definitely probably my second or third favorite X-Men movie.
It's up there.
It's up there for sure. 2014, Bryan Singer comes back to direct X-Men. This one kind of blends a bunch of storylines. Starts off in the future. The future is like the Sentinels have taken over, and so they find a way to send Wolverine's consciousness back into the past. For some reason, Kitty Pryde has new powers where she can send people back in the past. Sure, why not? So this is kind of like they're going through two timelines. I think this is probably where Wolverine starts really getting fucking badass in this movie. Magneto is badass in this movie. Probably my favorite scene. We'll talk. I guess my favorite scene is the Quicksilver scene. Quicksilver having
in the kitchen.
Quicksilver helping break out
Yeah,
Magneto from
that's what he
break out Magneto from the prison. This is a great scene. Wolverine goes back in time to like the mid 70s, right? 74 or something like that. And he's tasked to find Professor Xavier and like kind of start like change the events that cause the future, the problems from the future, kind of stop the assassination of a certain character by Mystique. So he goes back in time, and it's good use of time travel. I think like a lot of movies have like shitty use of time travel, but it's a great. I think it's good blending of like the old continuity and the new continuity. So yeah, Logan's great in this. Xavier's great in this. Fassbender's great as Magneto in this, and it's great. I like how they flash forward to the future and the flashback, like the dudes simultaneous like storylines, like the battles in the future are awesome because they have like the X-Men actually using their power. They have like Bishop and Iceman and like fucking all these characters actually using their fucking powers, which is awesome. Iceman actually ices up and actually has the ice sled and he's going around like fucking fighting the Sentinels, which is awesome. Colossus is great in it. So what do you guys think of the X-Men Days of Future Past? Juan?
Visually, it satisfies me like what I want from an X-Men film.
Yeah.
I feel like they took all the best cues from the Fox animated series, and they were just like, "Yo, let's like visually, let's represent that," with the high budget.
It's the best action in the X-Men movie of all the X-Men movies for sure. Like the best like kind of comic book kind of like cartoon kind of action for sure.
They weren't ashamed to be comic book cartoon level, which in some ways is corny. But
that was a problem with some of the first ones. They were kind of scared to go there. They were kind of like, okay, we can't really go full.
This actually it works.
They actually said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go full cartoon."
Once again, it's like another thing too. I love is just like how dark it was, dude. It was defeatist. Like you see them, they're taking their last stand. They're also the visuals actually reminded me more of the Matrix than any other film, right? Because they're in this kind of like they're this like I don't know if it's in Tibet or Nepal, but right, they're like in the mountains.
Yeah, I think it's like something like China.
It's kind of like it's like a pagoda looking kind of thing or something. But like it looked very Asian, and it's just like they're just basically like, "Yo, dude, like this is it. We just have to like hold them out here. This is our last stand." And you got a sense that it's just like you see all the characters. You're like, "Yo, these dudes are all powerful. Bishop is this shit."
Yeah, they got Blink in there. They have fucking they have Colossus in there. They like actually using the characters that they have access to. Like, why wouldn't you like you have all these like roles to like fill in like some of these X-Men movies? Like, dude, you have these X-Men just sitting there. Why wouldn't you use these fucking X-Men?
What the thing where they shit the bed for me was it was just like, where's Cable, dude?
He's coming up, man.
I know, but my point is this is like,
if you're doing with the future, you should definitely have fucking Cable.
If you got Bishop, you need to have Cable, and I know why they didn't have Cable because Cable would have solved all their fucking issues.
Like, who do you want me to kill? I can't kill him.
You're not gonna beat fucking Cable, but besides that, dude,
DirecTV can.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a fun movie, man. I like they actually use their powers. I like the time travel storyline. I'm a big fan of like time travel alternate universe storylines. I thought this was great, man. It's definitely one of the better X-Men movies. I think they blended the two timelines really well. Like the action was fun. I like the last battle where they're getting destroyed by the Sentinels from the future, and like they're trying to Magneto lifts up the fucking RFK Stadium in fucking Washington and fucking uses it as a fucking prison over the White House. Like that stuff is great, man. I think this stuff is really works really well. Rick, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
I kind of really like this one just because it gave me a little bit of elements from like Age of Apocalypse, like when you see the futuristic world, you see Blink. I'm pretty much thinking that Blink is an Age of Apocalypse. That's where she kind
of came out of that.
Yeah, she came out of that era. So it was kind of like cool to see her. Who were the other ones in the future? It was Sunspot,
Kitty Pryde, Sunspot, Bishop, Colossus.
What was the other? There was one more guy's name. Warpath.
Warpath, yeah.
Warpath, yeah. It was just cool to see other name X-Men,
and they were using their powers,
and they were using their powers, right? It's just like it kind of showed the right way to kind of introduce other people.
Yeah,
you don't have to give them speaking roles, but you could just just acknowledge that they're there.
Yeah,
and, you could
Peter
have had
Peter Dinklage
yeah,
Trask. You
could have had Cannonball or whatever, but I like the cast, and I like the inclusion of how they added all these extra other mutants that.
Yeah, and they added them, and they actually used their powers.
And they use their powers.
Yeah, appropriately. Like they were actually using their powers, like the way they used it in the comics. So it was cool. It was definitely the best use of mutant powers on screen.
You get to see Sentinels too.
Yeah, the cool. Even I like the old school '70s ones, where like the old school fucking big mechanical fucking monster ones. So all right, favorite scene from X-Men Days of Future Past 1.
It's kind of hard to pick, man. I really love. I don't know why. Man, dude, I'm so dark. I like the death scene. Just because I just feel like, well, in this one that I'm going to tell you, right? Like the guy is pretending to be killed by a fucking thing that's not even there, and he does a great job. But in Bishop's death scene, dude, where it's just like
shot with all the energy and like fucking
right?
Yeah, it's cool.
He absorbs it.
Right, because he's I think he like blasts the guy, and then the guy blasts him, and then he absorbs it, and it's just like, and I don't know why that scene to me is just like it's haunting, dude.
And he overloads. That's the crazy part. You just see him just explode in pain too.
Well, I didn't think he was gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, Bishop, I love Bishop, and so I remember that one really hurt. And I'm sorry. Just to be clear, I don't delight in people dying. To me,
I don't know, man. We go back to the tape. It seems like you're excited.
No.
Nothing's better than
Mystique dying in the movie. I was jumping up.
Nothing's better than a good death. You have a good death scene, man. That's fucking legendary shit right there, man.
I cared for his character. I wanted to see him do more. I felt like, and then just to see him like die that way, I was just like, motherfucker, dude. I stepped away from that scene. I was just like, God, it's like. At the time, it was like, I was watching the theater, and then I watched it, with friends, and I can't pause it. But whenever I watch it on my own, I have to pause it. I'm just like,
I need some time to myself, please.
Yeah, man.
I like the Quicksilver scene is probably my favorite, but the scene I really love is when Magneto goes and gets his helmet from the music that's playing. Like he just breaks in and grabs his helmet and fucking breaks into the fucking thing and gets his helmet. Oh, I love that scene so much. That's a great scene. Rick, what's your favorite scene?
Of course, the Quicksilver scene. Quicksilver scene, especially the fact that they use, if I could save time in a bottle, it just works so perfectly.
Yeah.
But to me, it's Magneto. Just like almost every time he uses his powers, it's what I've always wanted to see. Magneto's like my favorite character in all of Marvel. Like whether it be hero or villain, I just love Magneto. He feels like if you were a mutant, who would you really want to follow? Would you follow Xavier or would you follow Magneto? I think honestly, I'd probably be a Magneto guy. He makes a lot of sense,
Magneto. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next one. Deadpool 2016.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Start to finish. They did. Yeah. It was one of the best superhero films I've ever seen. Completely enjoyable. It's an unironic John Wick. It's the super right. It's super self-indulgent, uninhibited violence, a fucking adventure romp, well written, fucking comedy delivered masterfully by Ryan Reynolds.
Action was
great supporting cast, fantastic special effects, great score.
Best Colossus on screen.
Best Colossus on screen.
The only reason it's not my favorite film is because, dude, I just think as dope as it was, dude, the Wolverine happened first, dog, and that was it was more experimental, dude, But otherwise, Deadpool, man, is fucking number 2 for me.
It's a fun movie. I like it a lot. I like the cast is really good. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, like, dude, he had this guy has Deadpool 10 years before this, and he fucking screwed the fucking pooch, man. He was great, man. I like Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh man, love her.
Oh yeah, she's
great.
Yeah, she's really good in it. Yeah, they got the humor of Deadpool right. I think that it's definitely definitely a great movie. I think who's Tim Miller directed it. I think the second one kind of we'll talk about the second one in a minute. I have some issues with the second one, but yeah, Deadpool is a great movie, man. Like I said, a great Colossus scene, like the best Colossus on scene, straight from the fucking comic book. So great. Deadpool, great. Yeah, it's a great movie. Rick, what do you think of Deadpool?
So the only thing I loved it. The only thing I had an issue with it, and I'm not sure if it was gonna happen. It didn't happen yet, and is that he kind of, when you read the book, he has like two inner voices inside of his head, and I was hoping to see
sometimes.
Yeah, well, lately, and I would have loved to just hear that.
Like the video game. Remember you played the video game, right?
Yeah, just like the video game. It would have been sick to like just to see like Ryan Reynolds look to his left and look to his right. Like think about like it's the good versus evil. It's like one of them is just like this kid version crazy fucking Deadpool versus like the more adult and he can actually think for himself, but he never listens to this one. He only listens to like the little kid version.
Have you played the game one?
I have not.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, it's probably one of the best adaptations of a character for a video game. That's a great character. Dual wielding pistols. You get to use his blades, double size. He's got like different shit amounts of weapons. It's fucking fun.
Favorite scene from Deadpool 1?
The sex scene.
That's pretty. Calendar Girl playing,
Calendar Girl is fucking really good, man.
I mean, I think about it. I'm like, it's remarkable.
It's the other masturbation scene.
Exactly. I just think it's funny. It's fucking, I guess, kind of sexy. It's just, I don't know. It's just, there's nothing like it. There's no other sex scene that's like that one.
Yeah. It's a realistic sex scene for sure. Everybody has their fucking kinks, man, for sure. Yeah, that's a good one. Rick, favorite scene?
I want to say fucking DMX playing as they come out of the fucking car and fucking about to go fuck shit up close to the end. I was just like, I wasn't expecting like that to fucking like, and like everything, him breaking the fourth wall, like, all right, cue the music and shit like that. I was just like, that's great.
Yeah.
Like this is what I would want to be like if like you fantasize like if I was gonna fuck some shit up, this is how I would do it. Like Deadpool did it. I was just like, that's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah. My kind of guy, man. That's my kind of guy.
I would say probably the stuff with Negasonic and Colossus at the school was pretty fucking hilarious. I like all that shit. All right. So X-Men Apocalypse 2016. This one, this kind of screwed the pooch on like Apocalypse, like the end credits of Days of Future Past had the little teaser for In Sabanor, Apocalypse. So I was very excited about this movie. This movie fucking sucks, dude. This movie is fucking horrible. Oscar Isaac is totally wasted as fucking Apocalypse. Apocalypse does nothing. He walks around the whole fucking movie. Nothing like the comic book, nothing like the cartoon. It's just fucking. They waste the Four Horsemen. They have fucking. They finally give fucking Archangel wings. They do nothing with it. Fucking Psylocke is in it. She looks cool. I think the costume looks amazing. They do nothing with it. The Four Horsemen just stand around the whole fucking time. They do nothing. This movie is such a fucking. The only thing I really like about this movie is the introduction of the young X-Men, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, all those kids. I like that stuff. Like that stuff in the movie is great. Everything else about this fucking movie is fucking horrible. I was so disappointed in this fucking movie. I was so excited about it. The look of Apocalypse is the main fucking issue. You made him look like Ivan Ooze. People called it from the beginning. Entertainment Weekly came out with a cover spread from Comic-Con, like talking about the worst looking characters design of any character in the X-Men franchise was Apocalypse. They fucking screwed the pooch on this. They had a potential to make one of the greatest fucking X-Men movies of all time, and they fucking blew it. This movie is fucking horrible. I hate this fucking movie so much.
What, did you like this movie?
I liked it.
You fucking asshole. You asshole.
No, I mean, I agree. I think it was a bad film. I mean, it was a bad film because it's like I want to like it, right? Because I love
Yeah,
Apocalypse.
dude,
There are
I love
parts of it
Oscar
I
Isaac.
like.
He's a great actor. You
he's
know,
great. He's an amazing actor. I love his acting, man.
Apocalypse is one of those. Apocalypse is like, in my opinion, he is to the X-Men what fucking Galactus is to the Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
he's the big
He
bad, dude. Like, you should
he
have had an epic fucking movie on this. And he
he
just
he,
fucking, he walks around the whole fucking movie doing nothing. He does
he,
nothing in this movie.
he's an immense force, and he's not utilized in the way that he should be. And also, not only that, but it's just like, he if I don't know how I would describe it, because like Magneto is like Malcolm X, but
Well,
like fucking, but like,
Xavier's like Martin Luther King. Yeah, that was
right.
a
And,
cool analogy for.
but then who the fuck is Apocalypse? He's kind of like
Donald Trump. He's the apocalypse.
the special effects were cool. Obviously, the design for Apocalypse was terrible. It's always great to
One
see.
of the worst ever. Like,
It's always great to see Michael Fassbender and those X-Men. But I mean, it was just, I don't know. It wasn't. It's kind of like one of those movies. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, cool scene with Quicksilver. They had another cool fucking speed scene. That was all right. I do like the kid, like when they're going to the ball and like kind of like just being like kids and shit. I like if they would have just focused on that, I would have been fine. But this is when they're like fucking. This is where Jennifer Lawrence kind of checked out, and then she was just like kind of like doing this for the paycheck. Like Olivia Munn as Psylocke looked fucking amazing. I thought the costume on Psylocke was great, but she did nothing. None of these characters, none of the four horsemen did nothing. They did nothing. Like I think it's just a shame. They had like so much potential with this movie. Like they had such goodwill coming out of the fucking Days of Future Past. They could have did anything and been. They had so much potential for this one, man, and they fucked up, man. This was just this was such a miss, man. Like all right, like what's your favorite scene from Apocalypse? Like the Quicksilver scene is the only thing I can think of, and like the kids going to the mall is the only thing I can think of.
I mean, I thought the fight scene in the desert was good. Wasn't there like one? I'm not. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but I feel like they fight like in like a desert village or town or something. Isn't that fucking good? Am I wrong? Does that not exist?
Yeah, it was they fight in the desert town.
I feel like
that was the end. That was like the end. Like they were fighting like in a little. They were fighting like in Egypt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, like I said,
that's where kind of Jean started showing signs of the like. Was it that was she was showing signs of the Phoenix, right?
Yeah, when she came out, yeah, towards the end, like she that was towards the end, yeah.
I thought it was cool. I mean, because they were doing some kind of like grand scale like level like fighting. I thought it was visually entertaining. I mean, you're asking my favorite scene. That was to me the most compelling scene. I mean, I think there was also a scene, the dialogue between, is it a young Storm and Apocalypse, right? I thought that conversation
like the room, yeah. That was a good.
I
scene,
thought that was cool. I enjoyed it. I mean, the acting was good. I thought visually it looked good, but
I like the beginning, like the opening scene, like where they fucking trap Apocalypse under the shit. Like it was kind of cool, like a cool little setup, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. They screwed the pooch on this one, man. I think they had potential to like do like a badass fucking Apocalypse movie, because I've been waiting for Apocalypse the whole fucking franchise.
I think the bad thing how they did Apocalypse was the whole. I love Oscar Isaacs, but okay, the makeup, we already know that the makeup's fucking horrible. Like I've seen some of the other concept arts that they could have gone with a couple of other ones.
Dude, Isaacs is a short motherfucker, dude. Like, you need to make him a little fucking taller, man. Sorry.
Yeah, they could have.
He needs a hover. Like Apocalypse needs a hover above motherfuckers, man.
The one thing that kind of bothered me about him, he kind of had. I want to call it Voldemort voice. Like when he was talking to Storm, he's very soft spoken. And I've never really, when I read Apocalypse, I never picture Apocalypse talking like this.
Yeah, no, he has some gravitas, man. He has some balls, man.
I don't picture him talking like that. And I think that was part of the thing that kind of ruined the character for me. He's like there's very, very there's glimpses when he's just talking about no more borders, and you can hear like his voice just growing and like it's commanding. But in other scenes, he's just It's like, dude, you're not Mum-Ra from fucking Thundercats, right? You're not going back
That would
into
have been
the
better.
fucking,
That would have been better.
That's exactly who he is.
Yeah,
He's
take
fucking
Mum-Ra.
Mum-Ra, dude. Yeah, so that was just like that's my fucking thing. It's like you come up with Apocalypse and you fucking pretty much just shat on the fucking villain.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what they've been doing pretty much through almost all the X-Men movies is shitting on the villain. Like the villain, it doesn't get propped up as much as it should.
Right.
Even Magneto, you feel that way? Even you think?
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's like
I like the scene with his daughter, like when his daughter dies in the fucking woods, where the fucking the villagers take him out. That's a great scene. Like all the Magneto stuff is amazing. Like Magneto's like carried this franchise, like even the good ones and the bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like even like just early Magneto, some early Magneto stuff, like with McKellen, it's just like, and the only reason you kind of look at him, I kind of look at him a different way, is because I'm like, well, damn, Magneto would have so much control over his power, it wouldn't weaken him. But it's just like you could see fucking Magneto's like McKellen's like he's fucking, I'm about to die, and I'm like, god.
What dude? Like Apocalypse is one of the characters that I feel like the animated series like just nailed perfectly.
Oh yeah,
I love the voice, dude.
Dude, the voice.
I am Apocalypse.
See, like there's still a quote.
Like Apocalypse is above us all. Like he's a fucking god. He's been around for a while. Like Apocalypse is like he should be the big. He's the Galactus of the X-Men. Fucking like Juan said earlier.
What's that line, Ray, that he does in the cartoon where he goes, "I am as far beyond."
I'm as far beyond man as man beyond mutant.
Yes, like oh my god, that fucking line. That's Apocalypse right there.
You son of a bitch. That is the line.
That's the line. Just to hear
you're talking to some nerds here, man. Come on, man.
Like I am as far beyond mutants as mutants are of man.
Yeah.
That I was just like, it's great to hear fucking Apocalypse say that.
It's such a great fucking over the top fucking villain, and you turn him into a little emo fucking kid, dude. I totally screwed the pooch on that one. All right. Let's go next on the X-Men timeline. Logan. 2017. Again, James Mangold coming back. Definitely one of the best X-Men movies. Definitely up there. It's kind of set in the future. Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart's in it, coming back as Charles Xavier. Great cast. I think this movie is like probably the most well done X-Men movie. Definitely the most well made film. Not my favorite X-Men movie, but definitely up there as the best film. Yeah, this had like Oscar contention. It's rated R. It's set in like the not too distant future. It turns into a horror movie at one point, man. Just a darker turn for the Wolverine. Great characters coming in this. You have fucking X-23 coming in. You have Stephen Merchant playing Caliban. Fucking even Erica LaSalle shows up in this fucking movie. Like that's how fucking deep cuts this fucking movie gets. So Juan, what do you think of Logan?
You know, this has been a great conversation. First, I got to tell you, man. Like when we first started going through this, I was nervous because I haven't watched a lot of these films recently, and so to describe what my favorite scenes were, or what I didn't like, I was nervous. But I got to tell you, like now it's put it in perspective, like what I love about all these films in general. And I think this film captures it perfectly, which is that ultimately for me, these X-Men films are about the sadness of injustice because, these characters have so much potential. They have so much that they could do with their powers for good, for humanity. But because they're not accepted, they live tragic lives. And I think that this film really encapsulates that, where you get one of the most heroic, one of the most rambunctious, spirited characters, and we see him at his lowest. I mean, he's just working this menial job.
He's broken.
He's broken, dude.
He's broken. Limo, like, come on, man. It's like fucking. It's supposed to be.
And his mentor, the genius, fucking one of the most powerful mutants to ever lived, he's broken, and we see him in this part of his life. It's so sad, dude. And we still see him, being brutalized, being attacked because he's different. And this movie, I mean, it should have, you're right, Oscar contention. I mean, it really shows what's wrong with people, which is that we'll pick on you if you're weaker than us. We'll pick on you if you're stronger than us. And yeah, this film was definitely great. It was hard to watch for me, dude. It took me 3 times before I could watch it all the way through. And I think the reason was just because I just didn't like seeing my superheroes so low. But that's the truth, dude.
It kind of takes some stuff from Old Man Logan, but not a lot. Like that's a whole different fucking storyline. But yeah, I love the stuff with X-23. Laura is like clone daughter. Love that stuff, man. And they cast her, the girl, the Daphne Keane that played her is amazing. Yeah, usually kid actors are always like hit and miss, but I think they well casted her. Direction of this movie, I love the fact that it's rated R. It's kind of great. It's almost like a Western. This movie, it's like an old, like kind of like a lone, like a Shane type movie. They even references in the movie like Shane. It's definitely a kind of old West kind of movie.
Actually, you're right. It kind of has like the aesthetic, reminds me of like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, like old kind of like spaghetti Western, kind of like fucking old school kind of vibe to it, which I really appreciate. Yeah, it gets brutal towards the end, and it's it definitely has some great cast, great action. The scene at the farmhouse just turns into a fucking horror movie. It just fucking, and he fights his fucking clone, and like it turns fucking brutal. It's fucking pretty hard to watch, man, for sure. Have you guys seen there's a black and white version out there too? Like he did like a black and white Logan version, which I kind of want to watch. I've never watched before. Rick, what do you think of this movie?
Dude, that Hugh Jackman, he made me cry, man. It's about the only fucking movie where I fucking found myself just it was emotional, man.
This is prime Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I think this is where he
got it.
I still think he's way too tall, but I think he got Wolverine. He nailed Wolverine. It took him like 17 years, but I think Days of Future Past and actually the Wolverine Past, like that's when he kind of nailed Wolverine. He kind of got what the character is, and yeah, it's a good fucking movie, man. It's a fucking sad movie, like Juan was saying. It's a well made movie. It's a brutal fucking movie, but it's definitely like I love the ending. I love he goes out and like you don't see him again. Like I think it's a good way for the character to go out.
I think this film really showed the most respect for the audience out of any of the X-Men films up to this point.
Yeah,
where they were just
it didn't downplay like, oh, you kind of know the X-Men, but you don't really like know the X-Men.
But it was more just like, yo, dude, like we're going to like send off one of your favorite characters, you know, in a brutal way, dude. And it is what it is. It's like it wasn't sugarcoating anything. And I think that it, you know, as a superhero movie lover, like you need to watch this film to kind of, I don't know, appreciate your superheroes, dude. Like, you know, because you're not always going to have them. You know what I mean? And I love that about this film.
I think it was a good ending for the character. Like I think it, you know, and people are like clamoring for like Wolverine to come back and like the Hugh Jackman to come back in the MCU. It's like, no, recast it, man. Like he had a beautiful ending. You don't need to have Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine. I'm okay. It was a great ending for the character. You know, it doesn't. You don't need to bring him back. So favorite scene from Logan, Rick?
Probably his death scene.
Death scene,
yeah. I want to say his death scene.
Yeah. I love that farmhouse when he's fighting himself and when it just turns into a full horror movie. I love that fucking scene so much, man. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Like people are upset about it. Like, oh, I didn't sign up for the. Like, no, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, brutal fucking scene. It's a good fucking death scene from Professor X. Juan, what do you think? Favorite scene from Wolverine, Logan?
I think for me, like, there's so many, but I think what really stands out to me is Patrick Stewart. You know, there's obviously the scene. There's two scenes. There's one where it's like, I think it's early on where he's like losing control and, you know, like Logan kind of helps him snap out of it. But there's another scene where they're in the car. I think they're in the car. Maybe they stop at a gas station and, you know, Xavier is telling him like, basically like, yo, this is your daughter, dude.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Right. I think that's right. You know, and and in the way, the tenderness that he told him, and he's just like, you know, like, this isn't just about you anymore.
You need to take care of her. Like,
This is the next generation. He's like, not only am I done, but you're done. I mean, and I could be wrong. Like I haven't seen, but I remember that there was just Patrick Stewart did such a phenomenal job in this film. He was so tender.
Yeah, it's good. If anybody should get nominated for an award, like Patrick Stewart is fucking amazing. Has this like beaten down Professor Xavier. Like Xavier is the one that killed the X-Men, right? Like he is, I think they got that revealed in the movie. Like he like killed the X-Men by accident. Like so like,
but
like taking care of him and shit.
But it's like they're on their last ride, and it's like Xavier is the only one that knows. Like, yo, dude, this is like the last adventure that we're having together, you know. So yeah, he really resonates with me.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good fucking movie, man. Good fucking flick. All right. All right. Our last one, Deadpool 2, 2018. David Leitch directs this one. Tim Miller famously went off this project. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I kind of have issues with this movie. I think it's some of it is fine. I didn't like the Juggernaut in this shit. I think the Juggernaut kind of sucked in this. I think Josh Brolin was fine as Cable. I thought it was fine casting as Cable, but they didn't really treat Cable the way Cable should be treated. Domino was fine. I don't know. Rick, what would you think of this movie?
I liked a lot of the little cameos. Juggernaut, he was like weird to see. Like I know they had a success with the CG Colossus, but I'm just not sure. If they
the look was fine, but I didn't like the way they treated him. Like, he's sticking like the fucking like electric fucking thing up his ass and like whatever. Yeah,
they're joking the character. They could have they could have used other characters to do. They
kind of jobbed out some of these characters, man. Like Josh Brolin was fine as Cable, but they didn't really like go like. They just kind of had name only. Oh, this is Cable. This is what he looks like. And like I don't know. I felt like the heart of like the original Deadpool was kind of missing in this. I think that was like the lack of Tim Miller. I think Tim Miller kind of like brought that home. I guess that was the issues with some of these with Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller. They didn't really get along with the tone of the movie. So I think Tim Miller was kind of like more focused on like kind of like taking it more seriously, and Ryan Reynolds wanted
like the action.
Ryan Reynolds like kind of wanted to go the more jokey fucking route with it. So that's why they kind of cross paths during that shit. So I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. It's okay, but it doesn't really have the rewatchability as like the first one did. Juan, what do you think of the Deadpool 2?
I think they misused Cable for sure.
Yeah.
I think that they thought it was a cool idea. I think whoever suggested him probably really loved Cable, and they're like, "Yo, let's use him in the storyline." But and I think that they could have made it funny and still been true to like the darkness of his story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially since there was so much hype, you know, going in with you know, when they were showing footage of him. I mean, it's not very memorable to me. I mean, there's a couple scenes.
It's very forgettable, man. It's a very forgettable movie. It's it's. I think it's kind of one note. Like they try to force some of these jokes. It kind of loses the heart of the first one. I think the first one had a lot of heart, which is missing in this one. Yeah, I can't really tell you. Like, there's only a couple scenes I kind of remember from this movie. Like the Colossus getting a fucking electric thing stuck in his ass. It's the only fucking thing I kind of remember from that, and that's probably not a good thing. Rick, what do you think of this?
I think they missed their mark with it. I mean, like you said, they missed the whole thing, the heart from the first movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you brought in Cable, and you just totally cool character to have, cool kind of looking on screen and everything. But they just it feels like they mismanaged the relationship between Cable and Deadpool. Like it's them two together. It's like it's just a bad buddy cop movie. That's all it is. And I didn't like the fact that they kind of made him like kind of the antagonist for most of the movie. It's like, you know what? Give me antagonist for maybe the first quarter of the movie. Then you guys figure out you're on the same side, and then just go fucking full on fucking Riggs and Murtaugh for the whole fucking for the rest of the shit. And they didn't do that. So that was the shit that killed me. I was hoping to hear what was his little thing that he says? Body slide by 2, and they fucking like he will teleport him and Deadpool wherever they need to go. None of that. So
Yeah,
That sucked.
I think it was a great casting. Josh Brolin as Cable's great casting. I think it was just misused. Yeah, not memorable. I'm just the scene. Probably my favorite scene was when the X-Force gets killed right away. Like when they come in, that's kind of funny. But yeah, it's just kind of like nothing really memorable, not rewatchable. I don't think I've rewatched this since this came out. Like I have no desire to. So like I'm kind of like Yeah, I hope they do something else with the third one. If they, I'm sure they're going to do one eventually.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, but yeah, nothing memorable about this movie. So yeah.
Memorable scene for me is when they go to the X Mansion and he's hanging out there and shit, just kicking it.
When he opens the doors, all the
that to me, that's fucking memorable. I love that. So that was.
What about you, Juan? What's your favorite scene from Deadpool 2?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Same thing. You know, X Mansion. I mean, I mean, I guess the freeway scene. There's a freeway scene where I think, you know, like Deadpool kills a bunch of the assassins or whatever. Like
I think that's the one.
Is that one?
Yeah, I think that's the first one.
I'm sorry.
Don't try to fucking help. Don't try to help number two by giving scenes from number one.
Totally understandable. Totally. So all right. Well, I think it was a great fucking discussion about X-Men, man. It was in depth. That was pretty good. Let's see. Let's go through a couple more chats. Lori, I was thoroughly surprised how much I love Deadpool. Yeah. Emily, Ray is the one with words. Yeah, I have words. Yeah, that's right, Emily. That's right. Deadpool, Lori, Deadpool kind of lost the luster for D2. Yeah, it was just, I think they need to have a balance. I think somebody needs a Ryan Reynolds in. Like, I think that's why Tim Miller works so well. So I think that's what kind of hurt it. All right. So, all right. Well, we're definitely breaking records today, man.
I want Deadpool to go against Bullseye for the next movie.
Have him show up in the fucking Daredevil movie first before you dive all that. All right, so let's go through the pool list for this week. So stuff you watched, listened to, read, anything that kind of stands out to you, good or bad. If you have something you hated, that's probably even better. So Juan, what's your pool list for the week, man? Anything stands out to you?
Pool list for the week has got to be the classic Studio Ghibli animated film Nausicaa. Phenomenal film, Nausicaa. The story of a young woman living in a post-apocalyptic Earth where nuclear fallout has led to the development of humongous mushroom forests where large insects now roam the fucking hellish landscape. And basically, you know, human civilization is on the brink of maybe coming back, but there's some infighting. It's the
documentary, right?
HBO Max?
It's on HBO Max. They have the full Studio Ghibli.
I saw that they got that. That's awesome. I'm gonna probably have to pick that shit up just for that.
Dude, it's tight. It's Miyazaki. It's fucking, the music's beautiful. The animation's great. The voice acting, if it's dubbed, is fantastic. You're in for a treat.
Nausicaa. What's it called again?
Nausicaa. It's spelled Nausicaa, I believe.
Nausicaa. Okay, cool. All right, what else you got?
Me or somebody else?
No, you.
What else? What about something that I didn't like? Fuck, let me think. Let me look at my pool. I'm looking at my pool. I'm pulling my wang real quick.
The Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Netflix.
Oh, dude, I watched it. It was
fucking
good.
Brutal, man. Dude, it's so fucking good. It's fucking brutal, man. Those fucking poor girls, man. They got hosed so bad, dude. Like, dude, he manipulated those fucking poor girls so fucking. Oh man.
Dude, the number one thing that sticks out of my mind, though, aside from like, it's obviously the tragedy, the fucking exploitation, fucking son of a bitch, piece of shit. But just like the thing I was laughing about was his egg-shaped penis.
He got offended. The fucking prosecutor knew like how to get him.
His dick is shaped like a AirPods case, dude. Like, it's just short and kind of round. Like, you know, I guess it's square, but you get what I'm saying. No wonder, dude. You got, dude. When your dick's that weird, you have to have an island. You have to make sign an NDA. You don't want that shit getting out, man. Poor son of a bitch.
You know, that shit got to him too. You could tell in the interview, like that's like.
Get your weird
he
out
probably
of
thinks
here.
he's like the god gift and like he has no flaws and like the women complained about his egg-shaped penis and that's what got to him. That motherfucker definitely got killed too. Like the motherfucker had dirt on so many people. Like, oh no, we got to kill this motherfucker. Like, yeah, it's a fuck. Have you seen that, Rick? The Jeffrey Epstein?
I have not. Now I gotta go watch that.
Oh,
shit,
it's only 4 episodes. After you watch the first one, you're intrigued, dude. You're in, dude. Like I tried to. I was like, oh, I'll watch the first one. See what.
Is the mentioning of the egg-shaped penis in the first episode?
It's up to, I think second.
Have to wait. Right? Oh, okay.
Dude, it's some fucking dude. He fucking had these fucking poor girls so fucking manipulated. He had underage girls looking for other underage girls for him, dude. He had like such a fucking cold ass setup for him.
God damn, this fucking creepazoid.
Oh, he's
and then you realize that he was doing it to basically blackmail other powerful people. And
oh, dude, he had dirt on everyone. Dude.
He's exploiting the people with no power. To get power, people with power. It's just like he was.
Oh yeah, there's somebody like that. They're gonna fucking kill you.
Dude,
you're dead.
He definitely got killed, dude.
You got killed, bro.
Dude, they're looking at his New York fucking place, and like he had cameras everywhere. So therefore, he had cameras on his island. He had the cameras everywhere, dude. You're
definitely fucking dead, bro.
Yeah, no, he definitely got killed for sure. It's fascinating as fuck.
I need to see this shit.
Oh man, it's cool. All right, what else you got? You got anything else, Juan?
That's it, brother. That's all I got.
Rick, what do you
got? So I got two things. I finished season 2 of the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, okay, cool. What do you think so far?
Fucking great, dude. I just finished the arc with Boba. Well, not finished. Again, I don't know if they're gonna add any more stuff, but the fact that Boba already tried to go kill Mace Windu, and it was like a 3-episode arc so far, and I'm about to start season 3. I think this is the season you said shit starts getting a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and season 3 definitely
season 3 you said go down.
Season 3, that's when they dude, it's gonna be nonstop. You're gonna see some cool shit.
So season 3, I'm ready for that. The other thing I've been watching. So I just started fucking watching What We Do in the Shadows season 2.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't seen it at all?
No.
Bro.
It's good?
Bro, I've
been waiting. I want to build up some episodes before.
I fucking am laughing my fucking ass off watching that show, dude.
I think it's better than the movie. Like it's kind of surprising.
Oh yeah, I've gotten to that point where I didn't think that at first, but officially now where they're at, oh yeah, dude, this is fucking way better. Fucking like the coolest character right now is that I fucking love him. There's two. It's fucking Guillermo and Colin Robinson. Those two motherfuckers are fucking great, dude. So I mean,
have you seen that one? The What We Do in the Shadows?
I'm not.
Oh, it's good. Yeah,
watch it.
Watch the movie and then watch the TV show. It's fucking amazing. So good. Such good comedy, man.
I just like the fact that the show adds a different kind of vampire. That the energy vampire, the psychic vampire.
Oh yeah, the guy is like sucking the energy.
Yeah, Colin Robinson. And he just comes into the room and just fucking puts everybody to sleep with just fucking like mindless drawl and is like just talking. And then he'll walk away with like a big ass fucking smile and his eyes all lit up blue. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
I gotta say that we're like 2 hours and 38 minutes into this fucking show, and there's still 9 people watching, so that's pretty fucking good. Good for you guys that are still watching.
Thank you guys, I appreciate
it. I think they're on heroin, nodding off.
Yeah, they're all fucking passed out right now. like gonna wake up like, oh my god, I passed out watching the SF comedy.
Let me see if there are 9 people out there, just somebody hit like and subscribe right now. Just to prove you're there.
Emily said it's my favorite podcast cast.
So I'm not the favorite podcast.
What else you got?
So I said, What We Do in the Shadows, and let me see. I've been listening to a lot of old school fucking Jericho stuff, and for his Talk is Jericho. And he's been causing me to go back and look at some old matches. I heard him talk with. I just watched Austin Bret Hart again for the.
Oh, it's one of my favorite matches.
It's my favorite match of all time. Yeah, I don't know how many. And it's only 26 minutes long. It's not a fucking very long match. Yeah. But it's great storytelling. And the one thing I love is how Bret Hart, when he brought this to Austin, he told him, he goes, dude, we're gonna give the fans something they don't even know they want.
Emily said Burt Reynolds, Silent Bob, and Nick Kroll. Sorry, Juan. Laughing my ass. So I guess Juan's Nick Kroll.
Yeah,
I'm Burt Reynolds, and
I guess fucking Silent Bob,
Silent Rick.
Silent One. Oh no, that's not. That means that's Silent One. But yeah, that's I think that's it for me.
All right, cool. So yeah, I picked this up this week. The She-Hulk Omnibus, written by John Byrne. This is She-Hulk, one of my favorite characters. But yeah, this omnibus just came out. Like the humor in this book is fucking awesome. I love the coloring in this book. This is like a Holly. It has like all of John Byrne's She-Hulk fucking run right there. It's amazing. Such a good book. If you're a She-Hulk fan, if you like the character of She-Hulk, this is the one to pick up. Is She-Hulk Omnibus. Beautiful. Picked it up at Amazing Fantasy. Frank, awesome. Yeah, if you can find this anywhere, pick it up. Great book. This movie, I've been telling everybody I know that's a fan of like any kind of movie, a fucking color out of space, a Nicolas Cage movie. This movie is fucking insane. If you want to fucking, it's like John Carpenter on an acid trip. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking weird. It's crazy. It's insane. It's probably the best Nicolas Cage movie in the last like fucking 15 years. It's fucking really good. If you're a fan of like, it's H.P. Lovecraft story too. So if you're a fan of that kind of storytelling, it definitely has like a 80s kind of vibe of movie making. But it came out I think last year. Highly recommended if you're a fan of that kind of like weird kind of fucking genre kind of movie. Like it's a fucking mind fuck of a fucking movie. If you get a chance to watch this movie, watch it. Highly recommended. Color Out of Space. Watch it if you can. It's fucking insane. It made me like, whoa, like God, like I don't get fucking weirded out by movies too often. This movie made me like fucking like, oh shit, like fucking a couple times. Like this movie is amazing. Highly recommended. If you get a chance to watch this movie, Color Out of Space, please watch this. It's fucking crazy. It's well made. Richard Stanley directs it. It's just a fucking amazing movie. I can't recommend it enough. The visuals are amazing. The direction is amazing. The acting is amazing. Just a great movie. Watch this movie if you get a chance. Have you guys seen it at all?
Not yet. I'm gonna watch it. It's H.P. Lovecraft.
Rick, watch it. We're gonna have a long discussion about it after you watch it for sure. All right, and my last thing, I have some other things, but we'll keep it short for today. I picked up some Super 7 figures today. Well, not today, but during the week. So I got a Grimlock. Super 7 does these like reaction figures, like done in the style like old school Kenner action figures. So we got a Grimlock right there, amazing. And we have Alpha Trion.
It is Alpha Trion. That's sick. I could recognize the beard.
This is like old school, like deep cuts Transformers. Like Alpha Trion was like one of the oldest like Transformers, like from Cybertron. So this figure is amazing. I love this figure. And I'm gonna do a quick unboxing right here. I'm gonna open one. I'm opening Grimlock. It lost its value.
This is like pornography.
I'm opening a figure. No.
Open the figure, Rick. Open the figure.
Rick's got a great voice. Holy shit.
He doesn't use it often enough though. So we got this Grimlock figure, man. It comes with the sword and shit. It's great.
New Grimlock unboxed.
I guess that leads into my other pick for this week. I've been watching season 3 of Transformers. This is like post Transformers the movie, so this is all the shit that happened after, which is actually really good. Probably my favorite season of Transformers.
Really, with the Rodimus Prime?
Rodimus Prime, like they deal with like Galvatron's all like psychotic and shit, and like
that's just...
and they deal with the best episode is when they find Optimus Prime's body, and like the Quintessons are like using his body it's like a zombie. Optimus Prime is amazing. So yeah, the season 3 of Transformers is amazing. So I definitely recommend that shit. But that's a little fucking Grimlock figure. So Super 7, Daniel over there is amazing. Like if you guys get a chance to go to Super 7, they have Andre the Giant figures about to get released. Like the old school Andre the Giant. They have Army of Darkness figures just got released too. So you definitely check those out. So yeah, that's my pull list for the week. Oh, actually, one more thing I want to talk about: Solar Opposites. Justin Rayland, the guy that did Rick and Morty. He's
Oh, I just saw the commercials for that for while I was
it's
watching.
on Hulu.
It's
It's
on
on
Hulu.
Hulu.
I was watching.
I
What
watched
Did
the
We Do
first
Show.
episode. I was like, eh. So I kept watching. It's a great show. It's fucking really good. So it's
Solar
only
Opposites.
It's only 8 episodes. It's fucking really funny. Like the subplot with there's like the alien traps like a tiny people in his wall, like his little like a little fucking like little wall of like tiny humans, in which the subplot is fucking amazing. It's a great show. I was like the first episode was like but I kept watching. It's only 8 episodes. It gets fucking really good. I definitely recommend it. If you love Rick and Morty, you definitely dig this show for sure. Great show. Cool. Yeah, that's my pull list for the week. All right, we got a couple more chats. Emily, yay, She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk so much. Great character. I can't wait to see the Disney Plus, what they do with Disney Plus. Yeah, too bad, Lori. Too bad Lovecraft was a racist. Yeah, look up his cat's name. You know, you'll understand how racist fucking Lovecraft was. Emily,
Oh, that was Crowley. No, wasn't that Crowley?
No, it was
That was
Lovecraft. Yeah, yeah. His cat's name.
We'll get into that.
His cat's name was Hitler. Yeah, you name your cat Hitler, you're kind of racist. Let's see. Unboxing. Emily, love the packaging. The packaging are amazing. These reaction figures are amazing. I love the packaging. I like the other figures they have too are amazing. Like I want them all. Really.
Do they got one of the? Is that one of the Insecticons?
I do. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they.
Huh? Hello?
Shockwave and shit. Like all of them look amazing. I want to buy them all, but I can't because they're expensive. So yeah, great series. Yeah, definitely check them out when you can. Lori, I realized I met Brian from Super 7 at Comic-Con 2019. Yeah, Brian's like the main guy at Super 7. I think San Diego's their main fucking store, I think. But Daniel's the one that runs the store here in San Francisco. He's amazing, great dude, fucking super fucking chill dude. Always nice to go in there and get some stuff from them. I got a couple stuff on pre-order from them. Yeah, I'm getting the Ash figure from Army of Darkness and the Andre Giant figure on Wednesday, so I'm gonna pick that up. I'll show those off next week. Cool. Yeah, great. Super 7. Yeah, show them some business if we can. This was officially our longest show. I don't think we'll break any records on this one.
I think this is gonna hold the record, bro.
This is the epic show, man. I figured this one was gonna be the one.
Fucking the X-Men show.
The X-Men show, man. The infamous X-Men show, man. No, this is a great discussion. I love this talking about the X-Men movies, man. It was great. So Juan, any final thoughts? Any final shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to talk about lastly?
Beautiful show. I enjoyed talking about the X-Men films way more than I knew I was gonna have fun, but dude, this came out like I feel like I learned more about why I love the X-Men films. Final thoughts, man. Just if you have it in you, if you're watching this, please go watch the X-Men films all the way through. I'm gonna do that.
I kind of want to rewatch them. Yeah, I kind of want to rewatch some of them now that we talked about. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch some more X-Men movies this weekend for sure.
So man, thank you so much for for letting me be part of the discussion. It was it's great to not only discuss what I know, but obviously to you two are fucking you guys are well versed. So it was a privilege.
You can say nerds. It's fine.
I could, but I wouldn't be accurate. You got
nerds.
Nerds.
It's okay.
Well, this is why we do this show, man, so we can talk about this shit. We're tired of just talking to each other about it. So yeah, we got to show the world.
I'm a nerd and I'm pretty proud about that.
So Juan, where can people find you, man?
You can find me. Well, I would love this Friday, June 12th. I'm doing a Zoom show. It's Cat People. It's
nice.
Just Google Cat People. We're doing it with Sacred Grounds, which is a venue in Oakland. And it's going to be live streaming. It's going to be 3 comedians. We're going to have a great time. Talk about cats. Talk about comic books. Talk about sex. Talk about all kinds of nasty stuff.
All my favorite subjects.
It's going to be
comic
fun.
Book sex.
So please, man, buy your tickets. Just go to Wicked Grounds. Go to Wicked Grounds website and look for Cat People. Awesome. Love to have you there this Friday night.
Yeah, man. Juan's a funny guy, man. We love having him on the show. So yeah, go support him as much as you can for sure. Rick, what you got?
Just be good to each other, man. Everybody out there. These are funny.
Even if you don't fucking agree with
Yeah.
the person, like, come on,
These are-
man. Like,
yeah,
like
these
we're
are-
humans, man. It takes so much less effort to like not fucking shit on people's fucking lives than it is to actually shit on them. So like, just be cool, man. Like, fuck, man. That's all it takes, man. Don't be an asshole, man. Fuck.
These are just, you know, I'd like to just, we should like live like Bill and Ted, man. Just be excellent to each other. So that's like
It doesn't take a lot of
Doesn't
effort.
take
It
a
takes a
lot.
lot of effort to hate on somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of effort to not give a shit and just let people
That's-
live their fucking lives, man.
that's
Let people love who they want. Let people fuck who they want. Who cares, dude?
That-
Like it doesn't affect you, man.
that's like my mantra, dude. It's just like when it comes to, it takes a lot more energy to hold on to hate than it is to just like be happy. So be happy, people. Yeah.
All this positive shit, man. It's kind of irking myself.
I need it, bro. Trust me. Things aren't the greatest, but I just need to be positive. So
Yeah. No, it's like, dude, just be chill, man. Like, wear a fucking mask. Like, keep people safe. Like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, it doesn't take much, man. Like, it's not a fucking like, it's not gonna hurt your fucking it's not gonna hurt your life to be fucking decent to motherfuckers. So shout out to all the people that were in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Love your input. Like it makes these live shows more fun. Like having like these like live interaction with people. Lori, want to revisit the Logan films? Yeah. Skip Wolverine Origins. Yeah, you don't need that one. Happy Pride Month. Yeah. Happy Pride, man. Like I said,
dude, I'm missing fucking the Pride Parade starts right in front of my job, bro.
Hey, man. Fuck whoever you want, man.
that.
Don't let anybody fucking like kink shame your ass. Racists are the worst. Yeah. Velo, preach. Thank you, Velo. No mo cops. Yeah. Police reform for sure. Emily, good night. I appreciate you guys. Krista, great show. Great show, guys. Thank you. Good vibes, everyone. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is good vibes, man. This is what we want, man. We want to have like a good vibes and like, no, everybody's invited. We don't care what you fucking, what your sexuality, what you believe, what your religion, whatever, man. We just want to talk
Well, do we
don't believe in, so what, man? You believe in your own shit, man. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't care what you fucking believe in. Believe in what you want, man, and just be fucking cool, man. Like that's all, man. This is all. We're on this earth for a limited amount of time, man. Why are you gonna fucking be hateful in your fucking heart, man? Just be cool, man. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Just thanks to everybody. Thanks to Emily for making the logo. She's working on some other stuff for us eventually. Thanks for Graham for the thanks for Graham for the theme. Thanks for Wancho. Wancho's. I can't tell if he's like paused or he's like miming right now, man.
No, he's still holding the pose.
he's
committed to his art.
Yeah, you should be painted silver when you do that shit, man. Yeah.
Drop a quarter.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for fucking joining in. You're definitely like, I don't think we're gonna break a fucking record on this one, man. Join the Facebook group. We drop news on there. We just repost news from other venues, but yeah, definitely check that out. SF Comic Book Co. Yeah, support the channel as much as you can. Like and subscribe, man. Tell your friends about it if you want to nerd out with us. Thanks to everyone, man. This might be my favorite show, man. This might be the fucking best show we've done. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Juan. Thanks, Rick. And look out for more stuff, man. This has been a fun one. All right.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.